Chapter 458. Whose brother is more pitiful? Oh, my dear child, still so spoiled at your age. Come here. Zhao Siyuan's mother, her face alight with affection, grasped her daughter's hand for a closer look, then turned her gaze towards Wang Yu, nodding appreciatively. What a fine young man, so handsome and dashing. I hear he's your junior? Yes, Zhao Siyuan responded shyly, her eyes darting towards Wang Yu, who was conversing with her father. Zhao Batian, not glancing at his daughter, extended his hand to Wang Yu with a warm smile. Young Master Wang, I am Siyuan's father and the head of the Zhao family, Zhao Batian. Uncle, Siyuan is my girlfriend. You may call me Xiao Wang or Wang Yu. Wang Yu replied with a respectful yet confident handshake, unfazed by the presence of his future father-in-law. Hearing this, Zhao Boshan's expression darkened, and he awkwardly replied, very well. I shall call you Xiao Wang. He then introduced, this is Siyuan's mother, Ning Xiuhua, and the others are Siyuan's uncles and elders. Hello, young Master Wang. I am Siyuan's uncle. It is truly an honor to meet you today. A man in his 30s, sporting a slick-back hairstyle, eagerly approached. I am Siyuan's great-uncle. I run a small business here in Suzhou. Should you ever require assistance, do not hesitate to ask. An elderly gentleman clad in a deep blue Zhongshan suit squeezed forward, a smile etched into the wrinkles of his face, daring to extend his hand to Wang Yu only after wiping his palms on his lapel. My little factory is located in the industrial park, though it cannot compare to the grand enterprises of young Master Wang's family. In the realm of precision parts manufacturing, it does hold a bit of renown in the southern Jiangsu area. No sooner had he finished speaking than a middle-aged woman with wavy, permed hair playfully nudged him aside, saying, Uncle, please, young Master Wang would hardly take notice of our modest endeavors. Hello, young Master Wang. I am Siyuan's second aunt. Heavens, what a handsome young man you are. Siyuan must have accumulated great fortune to find a boyfriend like you. Indeed, my second aunt speaks so well. A young man wearing gold-rimmed glasses pushed up his spectacles and, eager to make an impression, presented a gilded business card ahead of the others. Young Master Wang. I am Siyuan's cousin, Ning Ziyuan, working at the Provincial Development and Reform Commission. Though my position is modest, should you need any assistance in Jiangsu, just a phone call away, I assure you I will be at your service. He emphasized the words Development and Reform Commission, clearly taking great pride in his status. A group of young men and women, peers of Wang Yu, observed from a distance, unable to approach, merely watching with envy. Very well indeed. Wang Yu found himself surrounded by Siyuan's relatives, momentarily flustered, his previously maintained composure dissipating. Zhao Batian stood nearby, a slight smile playing on his lips. This was Wang Yu. Prior to his arrival, Zhao Siyuan had informed her family of his background, which explained their enthusiastic reception. Otherwise, had it been anyone else who dared to whisk away Zhao Boshan's daughter, nurtured for over 20 years, arriving empty-handed, they would have been swiftly dealt with. Ning Xiuhua shot Zhao Batian a glance, stepping in to alleviate Wang Yu's discomfort. She treated him as if he were her own child, warmly linking her arm with his as they strolled into the estate. Xiao Wang, I presume you haven't eaten yet. Aunt, Siyuan and I hurried back home. We haven't had the chance to eat. Once we return, consider this place your own home. I have prepared a feast for your return, so do make sure to eat well. Thank you, Aunt. As Wang Yu replied, he surveyed his surroundings. One could only marvel at the heritage of a martial arts family. Most individuals present were practitioners. The estate was a quintessential Jiangnan garden, adorned with pavilions and towers, and rockeries forming peaks scattered throughout. Koi swam gracefully in the clear waters of the pond, their tails flicking in the light, exuding an enchanting elegance. Do not perceive it as overly traditional. There exists a modest collection of Western-style architecture nestled within the estate, harmonizing with contemporary trends. Zhao Batian and Ning Xiuhua evidently hold the highest status among this assembly, flanked by an array of relatives trailing behind. Soon, they arrived at a modernly adorned hall, replete with banquet arrangements. Naturally, Wang Yu found himself seated at the innermost table alongside Zhao Batian and his companions, while the skilled figures, Shadow and Dark Hawk, were deliberately positioned at the nearest table. Initially, Zhao Batian intended for them to sit together, but Shadow and Dark Hawk declined. Zhao Batian refrained from discussing business immediately, recognizing that Wang Yu and Zhao Siyuan had yet to dine, and thus invited everyone to begin their meal, resulting in a lively atmosphere. Zhao Siyuan's relatives approached Wang Yu to toast, and he graciously accepted their goodwill, fostering a sense of familiarity among the group, dispelling any lingering awkwardness. A few young individuals formed a separate table with Zhao Siyuan. How impressive! Wang Yu is actually your boyfriend. exclaimed Zhao Mingran, filled with envy and admiration toward Zhao Siyuan. Zhao Siyuan's face instantly brightened with pride as she retorted, "Of course. You should consider who I am. Naturally, I would choose the best for a boyfriend." Younger sister Zhao Chan chimed in cheerfully, "You're quite remarkable. Do you happen to know if there are any equally handsome gentlemen around Wang Yu? Perhaps you could introduce one to me." "None," Zhao Siyuan replied resolutely after a moment of contemplation. Not only could she not find anyone near Wang Yu who matched his allure, but even on a global scale, she could not identify anyone who could rival him. In terms of looks, he was truly the pinnacle of humanity. Suddenly, Zhao Siyuan seized her sneaky younger brother, Zhao Tian. "What are you peering at? Sneaking around?" "Sis, I wasn't sneaking. You must be mistaken," Zhao Tian protested, wincing as Zhao Siyuan grasped his arm, causing him to grimace in pain. He sighed in exasperation, pondering how absurd it was that someone would fancy a girl with such a fierce temperament. He began to question whether Wang Yu had ever encountered a woman, considering even his sister found him appealing. Unbeknownst to Zhao Tian, Zhao Siyuan scrutinized him and remarked, "It feels like you've grown quite a bit since we last met. Are you nearing 6 feet now? You surpassed me." Zhao Chan lamented, "This guy has been on an unstoppable growth spurt since he started sophomore year. He was shorter than me before. Indeed, I thought our little brother was done for, but thankfully he is thriving," Zhao Mingran said, rolling her eyes as she ruffled Zhao Tian's hair, turning it into a disheveled mess. "Please just spare me," Zhao Tian lamented, raising his hands in surrender. He could only blame his status as the youngest for being the target of their teasing. Whose brother had it as rough as his? Due to the martial arts training, he was unable to retaliate. If only all these fierce sisters would follow Wang Yu, he would welcome that fate. The other cousins seated at the dining table watched their antics with amusement, chuckling as they subtly inquired about Zhao Siyuan and Wang Yu. Zhao Siyuan did not divulge too much due to their familial ties, opting instead to share only trivial details, keeping her narrative succinct. A slight sense of vanity was satisfied. Zhao Tian glanced towards Wang Yu and suddenly remarked, "Sister, with brother Wang Yu around, we need not fear the demon anymore." "No, it's all right now," Zhao Siyuan replied with eyes as gentle as water, casting a firm glance at Wang Yu. Zhao Chan and Zhao Mingran sighed in relief upon hearing this. The other cousins dismissed the notion, saying, "What old demon? In this era of law and order, could he truly kill us all?" They were utterly unconcerned. Were it not for the old man's insistence, they would have been reluctant to return. Chapter 459. Perhaps there is still hope. During the banquet, lively discussions ensued, and Wang Yu found his eyes opened. Zhao Siyuan's relatives, facing imminent peril, still clung to their aspirations for power. Did they genuinely believe he could contend with such sinister forces? They seemed utterly untroubled. The air of commonness surrounding these individuals was overwhelmingly pronounced, starkly contrasting with his preconceived notions of ancient martial families. Only Zhao Batian and Ning Xiuhua exhibited a semblance of martial grace. Otherwise, Wang Yu might have felt some disappointment. He maintained a smile, as their flattery, after all, stemmed from Zhao Siyuan's kin, and he felt it inappropriate to show discontent. Seeing that the time was ripe, Zhao Batian asserted his authority as the head of the family, effectively dispersing those who appeared eager to drink with Wang Yu. His status within the Zhao family was significant. In an instant, no one dared to disturb Wang Yu any further. Zhao Batian turned to observe Wang Yu's composed demeanor, feeling a tinge of disappointment. His gaze turned peculiar. Even though he was nearing the first level of the turbid Qi realm, consuming such copious amounts of alcohol would have rendered anyone else unconscious by now. Yet, Wang Yu remained unfazed and clear-headed. "Do you find them different from your expectations of ancient martial families?" Zhao Batian inquired. Wang Yu nodded, responding, "Indeed, they differ somewhat from my imagination. Modern society is not like the ancient world. Without reaching the turbid Qi realm, personal martial prowess holds little significance. Naturally, the importance of wealth and power warrants greater attention." Zhao Batian chuckled. Wang Yu pondered this, then asked, "Why do they seem unconcerned, especially with someone at the 3rd level of the turbid Qi realm among them?" Zhao Batian sighed. "Though many of them are accomplished in ancient martial arts, how many have actually tasted blood? Most of the Zhao family members indulge in a life of enjoyment, believing that the existence of celestial realms has spared them from the previous turmoil of the martial world. Their mindset is rather naive." He paused, then continued, "Enough of that. Having consumed so much wine, let us enjoy some dishes." "Yes, indeed. Try to eat more. These are specialties of Suzhou. You must taste them," Ning Xiuhua said, serving Wang Yu a piece of squirrel fish. "Thank you, Aunt," Wang Yu replied, placing the fish in his mouth, his eyes instantly brightening. The flavor was surprisingly delightful. Was he had said online that this place was a culinary desert? It seemed that was merely a misguided rumor. Wang Yu glanced down at the table, where an array of dishes was laid out, the enticing aroma making his appetite surge. Copper basin braised old goose, lotus root in sweet syrup, lamb from the collection, crispy fried eel, and sweetened lotus root. The diverse array of uniquely flavored delicacies filled Wang Yu with immense satisfaction, and he indulged without any reservations, as if oblivious to his surroundings. Zhao Batian, with his hand clenched beneath the table, could hardly contain his frustration. If it weren't for the fact that he needed this young man, he would have relished the opportunity to teach him a lesson, especially after having his prized cabbage brazenly devoured in front of him. He had never encountered such audacity. Back in the day, when he met Zhao Siyuan's mother, Ning Xiuhua, to pay his respects to her father, he had been fidgety, his legs trembling with anxiety. How was it that Wang Yu displayed such a stark contrast? Ning Xiuhua, however, was not as troubled as Zhao Batian. She maintained a warm smile throughout the dinner. She was particularly pleased with her son-in-law. A hearty appetite was a blessing. She hardly ate herself, instead focusing on serving Wang Yu. Zhao Siyuan, observing Wang Yu's performance, felt a wave of relief wash over her. A sweet smile graced her face. She had initially feared that her father would be displeased upon discovering her relationship, but it appeared that her worries were unfounded. After all, it was rare to find someone as exceptional as Wang Yu. If her parents were dissatisfied, it would indicate exceedingly high standards indeed. After dinner, as the clock struck 9:30, the other guests began to depart. Under Zhao Boshan's direction, they returned to their respective rooms. The family had arranged a patrol, ensuring that the younger generation did not need to partake in surveillance. The disparity between the realms of turbid and non-turbid energies was immense. Sending people to patrol served only to provide a semblance of security, lacking any real efficacy. Zhao Batian and Zhao Siyuan walked alongside Wang Yu through the estate, eventually halting before a well-lit traditional Chinese pavilion. Zhao Batian opened the door and stepped inside, dismissing the surrounding maids with a wave of his hand. "Guomin, this is the old masteress room," he announced. Wang Yu followed Zhao Siyuan into the chamber, and as they drew closer, he beheld an elderly man with a head of white hair lying in bed, covered by a quilt that revealed only his pallid face. Upon seeing Zhao Siyuan enter, Zhao Chongshan mustered a modicum of energy and weakly spoke. "Siyuan, you're back." "Grandfather, I'm here," Zhao Siyuan replied, her eyes brimming with tears as she approached her grandfather's side. "Dear child, why are you crying? Can't you see I'm still alive?" Zhao Chongshan said with a smile, gently patting Zhao Siyuan's shoulder in comfort. As his gaze shifted from his granddaughter to Wang Yu, Zhao Chongshan's previously dull eyes suddenly sparkled with a hint of clarity, akin to a dusty, ancient mirror being polished anew. "Who is this?" he inquired. "Grandfather, this is Wang Yu, my boyfriend," Zhao Siyuan quickly responded, grasping the frail hand of the elderly man, which felt as cold as stone. "He came specifically to see you." "You shouldn't have come," Zhao Chongshan sighed. "There's a semblance of affection here, but you should leave. After tonight, you may find it difficult to depart." "Good evening, esteemed elder. I am Wang Yu, a descendant of the Wang family from the southwest," Wang Yu said with a smile, standing beside the bed and giving a slight bow. "The Wang family?" Zhao Chongshan's eyes suddenly lit up with surprise. "Are you the grandson of Wang Zhaojun?" "Indeed I am," Wang Yu replied with a grin. In an instant, hope flickered in Zhao Chongshan's eyes. "No wonder you dare to wade through this murky water. You are indeed the grandson of Wang Zhaojun. Observing your confidence, it seems you possess ample assurance." "The trifling third realm of turbid energy is hardly a cause for concern," Wang Yu disdainfully remarked. Very well, very well. I initially thought that by risking my venture into that secret realm and offending that old demon, I would ultimately bring misfortune upon my family and await death. It appears that heaven does not forsake the Zhao family, and I can depart without regrets." As he spoke, Zhao Chongshan suddenly broke into a fit of violent coughs. Zhao Batian quickly interjected, "Father, please do not excite yourself. Your health is paramount." Zhao Chongshan waved his hand, his breath growing fainter, yet his gaze radiated a sense of relief. This old body of mine should have long been buried in the earth. Surviving until now is merely due to my unwillingness to leave the family affairs in disarray. He gently patted Zhao Siyuan's hand, thinking that to muster the strength to see you one last time, and to behold the grandson of an old acquaintance, makes this life of mine worthwhile. "Grandfather," Zhao Siyuan could no longer contain her tears, which cascaded down her cheeks, falling onto Zhao Chongshan's hand, the warmth of her tears causing the old man to flinch slightly. However, Wang Yu suddenly spoke, his tone calm, yet imbued with an undeniable certainty. Old man, do not be hasty in arranging your final affairs. There may yet be hope. The old demon-s methods are exceedingly insidious. The putrid energy he has sown is immensely toxic, and it is unlikely that Zhao Chongshan could endure beyond 3 days. A flicker of astonishment crossed Zhao Chongshan's murky eyes, quickly morphing into a bitter smile. Let us give it a try. Perhaps it might be possible. Wang Yu remarked with a playful smile. Both Zhao Siyuan and Zhao Batian fixated intently upon him, their eyes brimming with hope yet tinged with the fear of impending disappointment. Under his consent, Zhao Siyuan informed Zhao Batian about Wang Yu possessing healing elixirs, which prompted their immediate visit post-dinner. Wang Yu did not hasten to produce the healing elixirs. Instead, he activated his true vision to gaze upon Zhao Chongshan. Name: Zhao Chongshan. Age: 79. Height: 173 centimeters. Charm: 62. Physique: 249. Affinity: 80. Realm: Turbid Energy Realm. First level. Great perfection. Skills: Wing Chun Master. Tai Chi Master. Divine Ability: Blade Slash of the 8 Desolations. Condition: severely injured and on the brink of death. Chapter 460. Great Gratitude. Unspoken. Zhao Chongshan is unexpectedly a master of the blade. If Wang Yu's memory serves him correctly, Wing Chun is adept at utilizing the 8 Slashes blade. Could it be that Zhao Chongshan acquired this divine ability through his comprehension of the 8 Slashes blade after becoming a practitioner of the Turbid Energy Realm? After reviewing the detailed information, Wang Yu nodded in satisfaction. It has been quite some time, and his true vision has finally proven its worth. The data presented was comprehensive. Not only did it reveal skills at an advanced level, but it also discerned divine abilities that could only be understood by practitioners of the Turbid Energy Realm. This genuinely stirred his envy. Subsequently, he turned his gaze back to Zhao Chongshan, and a frown creased his brow. Under the scrutiny of his true vision, Zhao Chongshan's body appeared to be nearly consumed by a ferocious turbid energy. Only his heart and brain remained untainted, firmly protected by his own turbid energy. No wonder he claimed he would not survive beyond 3 days. Wang Yu was astonished that he had managed to survive for 3 days. Under the expectant gazes of Zhao Siyuan and Zhao Boxianshan, he produced a modest healing pill. Old man, take this pill first and see if it works. To his surprise, Zhao Chongshan firmly refused, insisting it would be a waste for him to consume such a fine remedy. You should keep it for yourself. It would merely be squandered on an old man like me. Wang Yu shook his head in disagreement. Zhao Siyuan and Zhao Boxianshan also urged him, and eventually Zhao Chongshan, unable to withstand their insistence, sighed and swallowed the pill. At that moment, Wang Yu observed a warm current spreading throughout Zhao Chongshan's body, restoring some degree of vitality to his damaged physique. Regrettably, the malevolent miasma within Zhao Chongshan remained unchanged. Furrowing his brow, just as Zhao Chongshan was about to speak, Wang Yu discreetly used his telekinesis to place another verdant pill into his mouth. This was the Bai Yuan Dan, known for its healing and detoxifying properties. Classified as a second-tier pill worth 600 points within the system. Zhao Chongshan's eyes widened in surprise, his intended words stifled. He could only roll his eyes in resignation. Almost immediately, he felt a significant lightness in his body. His grievously injured form astonishingly returned to its prime state under the influence of the pill. In disbelief, he exclaimed, "What kind of pill is this? Its potency is astounding." However, Wang Yu lamented that the miasma was still unrelieved. That will suffice. After this recovery, enduring for another 6 months should pose no issue. Zhao Chongshan paid little heed to the matter. He simply threw off the covers and sat up. Zhao Boxianshan hurried to assist him. "Dad, are you truly okay?" "Grandfather, you're better." Zhao Siyuan expressed her delight. Wang Yu interjected, "While his body is well. The residual miasma continues to erode the old man's health. It's merely a stopgap remedy." "No worries, this is all a gain for me." Zhao Chongshan chuckled heartily. Wang Yu pondered. It seemed the pill alone had little effect on the miasma within him. The consumption of a Bai Yuan Dan had only slightly dissipated the formality. The efficacy of the pill alone was insufficient. "Old man, relax. Allow me to take another look." As he spoke, a faint golden glow illuminated his eyes, and a pentagram shimmered upon his forehead, elevating his presence to that of an ethereal being, seemingly untouched by the world's impurities. Zhao Boxianshan suppressed his inner excitement. Fixated on Wang Yu's pentagram, Wang Yu cautiously extended his telekinesis into Zhao Chongshan's body, but upon contact with the miasma, he faced a fierce counterattack. Zhao Chongshan shuddered, letting out a muffled groan. Despite his furrowed brow, he regarded the pentagram above Wang Yu's head with curiosity. This power was pure and immense. Where did it originate? Unfazed, Wang Yu channeled more of his telekinetic energy. Upon encountering the miasma, it seemed to recoil from his formidable presence, redirecting its assault from Zhao Chongshan's body towards this newly manifested force. Wang Yu smiled lightly, relieved that there was a response. If there had been nothing but stagnant waters, he would have been a loss. Now, the turbid energy reacted violently, allowing him to capture it all at once. The pentagram on Wang Yu's forehead shimmered more brilliantly, his psychic energy boiling like molten lava, surging within Zhao Chongshan's body. The corrupted, putrid energy that had been carelessly roaming through the meridians now resembled enraged serpents, frantically lunging towards the psychic force, emitting hissing sounds of corrosion. Humph, Zhao Chongshan grunted, veins bulging on his forehead, as if countless knives were simultaneously slicing through him, causing his muscles to tense painfully. Yet, he gritted his teeth, his gaze fixed intently on the brilliance above Wang Yu's head. That pure power inexplicably soothed him. This young lad possessed such abilities at a tender age, truly worthy of being his grandson. Dad! Zhao Batian anxiously rubbed his hands, eager to step forward, yet hesitant to interrupt. Nervously watching from the side, Zhao Siyuan clenched her fists tightly, her knuckles turning white, her eyes filled with concern. A cold smile crept upon Wang Yu's lips as his psychic force suddenly contracted, forming an impenetrable web that ensnared the thrashing turbid energy. Thinking of escaping? Too late, he exclaimed, as the brilliance of the pentagram intensified and the psychic energy erupted with an even stronger pull. The corrupted energy was gripped by an invisible hand, struggling and writhing, yet utterly unable to break free from its confinement. Wang Yu's gaze sharpened as he forcefully lifted the psychic energy. Gradually, tendrils of gray-black mist began to seep from Zhao Chongshan's chest, writhing as if alive, drawn out by the psychic force, slowly peeling away from his body. As the mist passed, Zhao Chongshan's skin visibly regained its color, and his previously tense muscles gradually relaxed. With a long, relieved sigh, Zhao Chongshan felt the pain within him diminish by more than half in an instant. A long-lost sense of ease spread throughout his being. He gazed in astonishment at the corrupted energy being drawn out, disbelief etched across his face. Without pausing, Wang Yu continued to exert his psychic force, extracting more of the turbid energy from Zhao Chongshan's body. This energy ultimately coalesced into a small black serpent, thrashing wildly in the web of psychic energy he had woven, roaring defiantly. Wang Yu snorted coldly as he tightened his grip on the psychic force. With a soft pop, the black serpent was crushed into countless tiny black specks, which flickered momentarily before dissipating into the chaotic energy of the world. The pentagram on Wang Yu's forehead gradually faded as he withdrew his psychic energy, letting out a deep breath. All done. The corrupted energy within the old master has been completely cleared. Zhao Chongshan felt an unprecedented lightness within him. He flexed his fingers, clenched his fist, and the strength he had long missed returned to his body. He abruptly sat up, throwing aside the covers, and beheld his once bluish-black skin now restored to its normal hue, tears of joy streaming down his face. It's truly over. Young friend Wang Yu, your kindness is beyond words. From this day forth, you shall be the benefactor of the Zhao family. Chapter 461. I misjudged you. The old gentleman spoke too highly of me. I am merely Siyuan's boyfriend, and assisting the Zhao family is only proper. Wang Yu smiled lightly. However, the malevolent spirit remains unresolved, and we must proceed with caution. Zhao Chongshan nodded, his gaze sharpening. Indeed, as long as this old demon persists, the Zhao family shall know no peace. Young friend Wang Yu, we owe you a great debt this time. Otherwise, the Zhao family would surely face dire straits. He paused and added, rest assured, whether that old demon arrives tonight or not, the Zhao family shall stand firm against him. You need not worry. My people are already en route, and tonight will be foolproof. Wang Yu waved his hand dismissively. Zhao Chongshan and Zhao Batian observed Wang Yu's unwavering confidence, finding solace in his demeanor. The presence of someone of Wang Yu's stature uttering such words suggested the strength of his allies was not to be underestimated. Could it be that they possessed the power of the fourth level of the turbid Qi realm? They pondered inwardly. Zhao Siyuan approached Wang Yu, gripping his hand tightly, her eyes brimming with gratitude and admiration. Wang Yu, thank you. Foolish girl, why be so formal with me? Wang Yu replied, gently, ruffling her hair. He then turned to Zhao Chongshan and inquired, Old sir, there's a matter I do not comprehend. Might you enlighten me? Who is this demon, and how has he been offended? Furthermore, why has he not sought us out immediately? Zhao Chongshan did not withhold the truth from Wang Yu, explaining, that man is a notorious figure in the cultivation world, known by the name Fang Yansheng, the old demon Fang. Due to his numerous transgressions within the country, he has been evading the heavenly palace as pursued and has spent many years abroad. By chance, I ventured into a secret realm in Kunlun and stumbled upon a medicinal garden where I encountered the old demon Fang. After a fierce struggle, I managed to escape with my life, bringing back a crimson fruit. The demon, unwilling to abandon the treasures of the secret realm, did not pursue me immediately. However, considering the time elapsed, the secret realm closed last night, and he is likely already on his way here. Zhao Chongshan then turned and retrieved a box from beneath the bed, opening it to reveal a single red fruit. A fragrant aroma immediately filled the room. Wang Yu's nose twitched in curiosity. Spiritual herb, centenary crimson fruit. Effect, cleanses and strengthens the body, significantly enhancing physical prowess. This fruit is a token of my gratitude for the precious elixirs you have expended on my behalf. Zhao Chongshan chuckled, handing the box to Wang Yu. Wang Yu initially intended to decline, but his heart began to race, as the dragon egg within him emanated a strong yearning for the crimson fruit. Seemingly eager for it, maintaining his composure, Wang Yu accepted the fruit and expressed his thanks. I am truly grateful, old sir. Haha, as Siyuan's boyfriend. Perhaps calling me old sir is not quite fitting. Zhao Chongshan glanced at Zhao Siyuan and suddenly said with a beaming smile, Grandfather. Wang Yu replied without hesitation upon hearing those words. Ah, splendid. You and Siyuan should spend more time together. Find an opportune moment to hold your wedding. Grandfather wishes to partake in the joy of your union. Zhao Chongshan laughed heartily, his pleasure unmistakable, thoroughly satisfied with Wang Yu. The desire to marry off his granddaughter to him was palpable. Zhao Siyuan covertly glanced at Wang Yu, whose face bore a smile, and felt a flush rise to her cheeks as she playfully chided, Grandfather, what are you saying? Only Zhao Batian observed the three, feeling somewhat superfluous. Wang Yu, this young man, was reluctant to address him as father-in-law, yet he called Zhao Chongshan grandfather with such familiarity, to which Zhao Chongshan responded with evident delight. Zhao Siyuan's gaze was entirely fixed on Wang Yu, seemingly oblivious to her father standing nearby. Was he an outsider in this scenario? Subsequently, Zhao Chongshan engaged Wang Yu in amiable conversation, inquiring about his age and family background. The more he observed Wang Yu, the more his satisfaction grew. Wang Yu candidly admitted that he had many women around him and might not marry Zhao Siyuan alone, which provoked Zhao Batian to slap the table in anger. He firmly declared that this was absolutely unacceptable. Siyuan was his treasured daughter, and he could only marry her. Wang Yu shrugged, seemingly unconcerned with his father-in-law's opinion. Zhao Chongshan, however, was unfazed, noting that a young man as outstanding as Wang Yu would undoubtedly attract many admirers, and it was understandable that he would hesitate to give any of them up. His loyalty and affection for others only elevated Wang Yu in his esteem. Regardless, it was clear that Wang Yu was destined to marry Zhao Siyuan. Any refusal was out of the question, as he would be the first to object. Should Wang Yu dare to claim otherwise, Zhao Batian would not hesitate to confront his grandfather, Wang Zhaojun, to question his wayward grandson. Yet, Wang Yu reflected on his own childhood, recalling how he had once been cradled by General Wang Zhaojun under his father's guidance. Despite any reckless bravado, he dared not act foolishly. Meanwhile, Zhao Siyuan's mood plummeted. Her heart sank as she had previously indulged in the fantasy that Wang Yu would only have eyes for her. The reality was starkly different, and she was taken aback by his audacity to speak so in front of her father. Did he not fear being cast out by Zhao Batian? Frustrated, Zhao Siyuan clenched her delicate fist, wishing she could pummel this arrogant man before her, whose audacity was utterly vexing. At 10 o'clock that evening, Zhao Siyuan led Wang Yu to a tastefully decorated room before turning to leave. Junior, you'll be sleeping here tonight. See you tomorrow. Wang Yu grasped her hand. Can you truly bear to leave me here all alone? I misjudged you, she retorted with a haughty toss of her hair. This is my home. Your expectations are quite fanciful. With a huff, Zhao Siyuan turned and departed, still agitated and unwilling to part from this insufferable man. Wang Yu chuckled softly, not taking it to heart. After all, this was Zhao's residence, and it was prudent not to overstep. lest the already irate Zhao Batian be pushed to his limits. He resolved to endure the night in silence. After closing the door, Wang Yu explored the room, noting its unique decor in a traditional Chinese style. The screens and ornaments exuded an aura of antiquity, with scrolls adorning the walls. Approaching one particular painting, he found it depicted galloping steeds, the signature red chi foam. Feeling a sudden rush of heartbeat, Wang Yu pressed a hand to his chest, exclaiming, "Enough already. Don't overreact. I'll attend to you shortly." Ever since Zhao Chongshan had presented the vermilion fruit, the dragon egg had been pulsating within his heart. Now, the situation is increasingly tumultuous. Had it not been for the pact made with this dragon egg, maintaining a sense of restraint, it would have undoubtedly burst forth from his heart. The fruit may be offered for consumption, yet should you remain unresponsive, do not blame me for taking matters into my own hands, Wang Yu remarked as he retrieved a box containing the crimson fruit, opening it with a flourish. He seemed to hear the jubilant roar of a dragon echoing in his ears, and in an instant, the fruit within the box withered. A stream of red energy surged directly toward his heart, ultimately merging entirely with the dragon egg. The silvery white egg was instantly tinged with crimson, and Wang Yu distinctly heard a resounding belch. He waited for a moment, yet the egg remained unresponsive. With a hint of frustration, he muttered, "After consuming my fruit, you show no reaction? Am I to believe I've been deceived? Wasn't it promised that you would soon break free?" Days have passed, and still no sign of life. Chapter 462. There is no need for the dead to know too much. Wang Yu extended his mental energy toward the dragon egg, gently caressing it. However, the little dragon seemed to be in a deep slumber after a hearty meal, entirely ignoring him. Wang Yu cursed under his breath once more. "When you finally emerge, I shall see to it that you face the consequences." He then reclined on his bed, taking out his phone to scroll through short videos, showing no inclination to sleep. The Zhao family left a favorable impression on Wang Yu. Perhaps it was due to his status, as Zhao Siyuan's relatives did not display any negative behavior in his presence. Even for Zhao Siyuan's sake, he felt compelled to remain attentive, knowing he possessed the ability to remain awake without consequence. In the coming day, the likelihood of that malevolent entity visiting would rise dramatically, so Wang Yu decided to unleash his mental energy, enveloping the entire Zhao estate. Should that old demon dare to show up, he would ensure it remained here. The night was as dark as ink, enveloping the Zhao estate completely, save for scattered lights that pierced through the darkness. The manor was so silent that the sound of the wind weaving through the bamboo grove could be heard, accompanied by the occasional croak of frogs from a distant pond, accentuating the surrounding emptiness. Teams of patrolling guards, clad in black uniforms, moved silently along the stone paths, their footsteps as light as a cat's. The walkie-talkies at their waists remained silent, with communication conveyed solely through gestures. Each guard's gaze was sharp as an eagle's, scanning the shadows, fully aware that they might not be a match for a demon at the third level of the turbid energy realm, yet they held their posture straight. Undaunted, most of them were orphans adopted and trained by the Zhao family, naturally considering the family's safety as their own responsibility, displaying no signs of laxity. Old Master Zhao Chongshan sat cross-legged in his room, meditating, with two long blades standing ominously at his bedside, exuding a subtle aura of menace. Occasionally, Zhao Chongshan would open his eyes and gaze out the window, his expression brimming with murderous intent. After ensuring Ning Xiuhua was asleep, Zhao Batian donned his attire, took a stool, and sat by a lotus pond, watching the swimming fish with a troubled countenance. Within the reach of Wang Yu's mental energy, 3 individuals at the turbid energy realm, well into their twilight years, remained vigilant, neither resting nor closing their eyes, nor cleaning their weapons. Could this be the profound legacy of the Zhao family? Even he is on guard, yet he remains untruthful. The older members of the family, despite their attempts to find solace in the idea that all is well, find themselves restless and unable to sleep. Only the younger generation sleeps soundly, though some are blissfully unaware, indulging in late-night games of chicken and kings. Zhao Siyuan, who rests next to Wang Yu, also finds herself awake, amusing Wang Yu with her occasional silly laughter directed toward his room. As time passes, just when Wang Yu believes that the old demon Fong will not arrive tonight, a figure cloaked in black silently emerges from the woods surrounding the manor. This shadow appears as if it has risen from the depths of the earth, standing quietly beneath the trees and shrubs at the manor's edge. The black robe melds seamlessly with the dense shadows of the foliage. Had it not been for Wang Yu's mental energy, as intricate as a spider's web, he might have overlooked this incongruous presence. The robe, oversized and shapeless, envelopes the figure from head to toe, revealing not a hint of skin, save for the abyss beneath the hood, a darkness that seems to devour light itself. The figure stands still, devoid of movement, yet the air around it feels as though it has solidified. The leaves of the old locust tree appear to wither, visibly turning yellow and curling as if drained of life. Wang Yu immediately adopts a serious demeanor and, encased in his mental energy, soars into the sky. The cloaked figure seems to sense something amiss, a wave of unease washing over it, as the darkness beneath the hood shifts subtly, surveying the manor. Wang Yu moves like lightning, his mental energy propelling him skyward. At 100 meters above, the night wind roars, yet it cannot stir a single edge of his garments. His true eye shifts. Name, Fang Yansheng. Age, 52. Height, 179 centimeters. Charm, 15. Physique, 891. Affinity, 20. Realm, 3rd level of Turbid Chi. Skills, Heavenly Demon Classic Master. Soul Devouring Technique, Master. Divine Ability, Mysterious Evil Ghost Fire. Ghostly Crying Flame. The cloaked figure feels a sudden palpitation. Before it can lift its gaze, a colossal force akin to a collapsing mountain bears down upon it. Hundreds of tons of mental energy descend like an invisible sky, cracking the ground within a radius of 10 zhong, while the bones beneath the robe emit a sound of unbearable strain, sinking half a foot into the earth. Who dares to ambush me, an old man? The hood bursts open, revealing a gaunt face marked by dark veins, with eyes ablaze in green fire. The old demon Fang thrusts his arms wide, a surge of grayish-black energy billowing like a tsunami, momentarily countering the overwhelming mental force, and he gazes up at Wang Yu, his pupils constricting in shock. Flying is a capability only attainable at the 5th level of Turbid Chi. Unaware, he mistakes Wang Yu for a being of that caliber. Did Zhao Chongshan send you? Since you are connected to the Zhao family, I shall take my leave. Is he retreating so easily? Wang Yu hovers in the air, a cold smirk playing on his lips, as his mental energy crashes like a tidal wave, growing ever more tumultuous. The old demon Fang, initially inclined to plead for mercy, realizes that the pressure Wang Yu exerts upon him is merely the beginning. Suddenly, a sinister laughter erupted from his throat, and a wave of dark energy exploded around him, transforming into countless fiery skeletal apparitions, each with eye sockets ablaze with a ghastly green light, their wails tearing through the night. Arrogant youth, unaware of the vastness of the heavens and the earth, behold my Xian Sha ghost fire, incinerating your very soul. The skeletal rain of fire surged into the sky as Wang Yu's mental force swiftly converged, manifesting as an enormous bell inverted above him. The fiery skeletons collided against it, erupting in crackling green flames, yet failing to penetrate even a fraction. With a subtle shift of thought, his mental energy split into myriad threads, piercing through the rain of fire like steel needles, aiming directly at the old demon Fang's body. If his strength was insufficient, he could not break through the surface, yet he could withstand it. Fang, the old demon, narrowed his gaze, and a bone blade, radiating a grayish light, suddenly materialized in his hand, spinning rapidly to deflect the incoming mental force. Nevertheless, a sharp mental spike found a chink in his defense, darting towards his chest. In a moment of crisis, he sidestepped, the mental energy grazing his skin. Instantly, blood splattered, and the surrounding grass withered away. What an eerie force field. You are neither an ancient warrior nor a Taoist practitioner. Fang clutched his wound, a fierce glint flashing in his eyes. A dead man need not know too much. Wang Yu's mental force surged once more, causing the earth to tremble as bricks and stones began to levitate, raining down upon the old demon like a torrential downpour. Unconcerned with the consumption of dark energy, Fang summoned a dark energy shield, as every brick hurtling toward him bore tremendous weight, creating ripples across the shield. With a fierce stomp, Fang declared, "Ghostly wails of the dark flame, shatter the soul." Waves of blue-purple flames, accompanied by countless ghostly apparitions, sped towards Wang Yu, distorting the space they traversed. Even Wang Yu's mental force sizzling under the flame's heat. This flame possesses intriguing qualities. Wang Yu's eyes brightened. In the midst of the fierce battle, his mental force rapidly evolved, transforming from a brute force into a sophisticated maneuver, advancing with remarkable speed. His mental energy alternated between manifesting as gigantic hands striking down and coalescing into fine nets for capture, even mimicking Fong's swirling dark energy to dissipate the ghostly flames. He could distinctly sense that, alongside his growing mastery of mental force, the shackles deep within his mind were fracturing, and his strength was quietly escalating amidst the struggle, subtly surpassing the 100-ton threshold. Chapter 463. Breaking through the second layer of dark energy, Wang Yu felt his mental force undergoing a gradual, yet swift transformation. The slowness was his perception, while the swiftness was Fong's experience. Fong's heart sank further with each exchange. In just a short while, the force Wang Yu directed at him surged even more violently. Could it be hundreds of tons? He had initially believed that with the Xiansha ghost fire and the ghostly wails of the dark flame, he could easily dispatch this youth. Yet he had not anticipated encountering such a peculiar adversary. The strange force field employed by his opponent was indomitable, growing stronger with each clash. His own dark energy was being gradually consumed and extinguished. He caught a glimpse of movement within the distant manor, realizing that the Zhao family's guards were hastening to the scene. Without hesitation, he declared, "Youngster, I shall spare you today, but mark my words. I will extract your soul to forge a lamp on another day." No sooner had he spoken than Fong turned and fled, his dark energy retracting around him, his speed suddenly surging. Attempting to escape? A luminous golden light surged in Wang Yu's eyes, the pentagram upon his brow radiating like the blazing sun. At that moment, his mental energy boiled over, breaking free from its constraints, resulting in a qualitative transformation. Infinite mental force coalesced into countless invisible colossal swords, weaving a net of blades in the air, each sword seemingly flowing with a sharpness capable of cleaving through the void itself. Behold the technique known as the return of 1,000 swords. Wang Yu chuckled softly, raising his sword. Countless sharp blades descended like a meteor shower. Just as the old demon Fong managed to retreat 3 paces, he felt a chilling sensation on his back. Dozens of telekinetic swords effortlessly pierced through the murky air, pinning his limbs and torso firmly to the ground, causing blood to spurt forth. The ground and trees outside the manor resembled a field that had been plowed by oxen, riddled with deep and unfathomable ravines. In disbelief, he turned to the figure high above, his throat emitting a raspy sound. "Why you dare to kill me? How amusing! What of it?" Wang Yu replied with a smile. "After decades of dominance, to be defeated by such an extraordinary talent like you, who possesses such strength at a tender age, is not unjust. Truly, I am unwilling to accept this fate." Once assured of his safety, Wang Yu slowly descended to the ground, disregarding the old demon's lamentations. The telekinetic swords whirled around, methodically eradicating the foul energy surrounding Fong, reducing his body to mere fragments that fell lifelessly to the earth. At that moment, hurried footsteps echoed from the direction of the manor. Zhao Batian, wielding a blade, led the charge, flanked by anxious guards who appeared as if facing a formidable enemy. Several elders from the Zhao family, all at the first level of the murky energy realm, arrived even quicker than Zhao Chongshan. Zhao Chongshan approached, gazing at the dismembered Fong pinned to the ground, his murky eyes igniting with astonishment. "Well done. Well done, Wang Yu." Zhao Batian and the rest of the family soon gathered, witnessing the utterly defeated Fong, their taut expressions instantly relaxing. Zhao Batian remarked, "You truly are impressive. Had I known you possessed such strength, I would have been less surprised. You are indeed worthy of being my son-in-law." The pride on old Zhao's face was palpable, his smile nearly reaching his ears. Shadow and Dark Hawk appeared beside Wang Yu, their gazes filled with awe. They were bewildered at how someone who once knew nothing of ancient martial arts had attained such formidable power. Yet, Wang Yu said nothing, leaving them hesitant to inquire further. Shadow suddenly pondered that Wang Yu's current strength likely equated to a 4th-level practitioner of murky energy, rendering them seemingly ineffective as his bodyguards. Faced with the prospect of unemployment, Shadow couldn't help but display a wry smile, exchanging glances with Dark Hawk. "Ding! Congratulations to the host for slaying Fong the old demon, exceeding the task expectations and earning 50,000 system points." Suddenly, Wang Yu noticed something amiss with Zhao Chongshan. The murky energy surrounding him surged, and his aura transformed into something ferocious. "I have grasped the 2nd level of murky energy. All of you, stay away," Zhao Chongshan exclaimed, excitement radiating from his face. Upon finishing his declaration, he sat cross-legged, the air around him distorting violently as if countless invisible serpents were weaving through it. The satin garments he wore rustled without any wind, each thread taut as if an unseen force threatened to shatter them into dust at any moment. Zhao Batian urgently instructed the surrounding Zhao family members to retreat. Boom! A muffled sound resonated from the depths of the void, akin to an invisible dam suddenly collapsing. Wang Yu's pupils constricted sharply as he distinctly perceived the swirling murkiness of the world around him. The foul air, responding to some unseen stimulus, transformed into a series of gray, dragon-like figures, emitting a piercing wail that shattered the silence, frantically burrowing into Zhao Chongshan's frail form. The old man's emaciated body resembled an abyss, swallowing the vast influx of tainted energy without so much as a ripple. A peculiar flush crept over his wrinkled visage, and his murky eyes were stained crimson. The expression on his face bore signs of torment. The shadow, filled with envy and jealousy, instinctively took a half-step back, drawing a sharp breath. It is essential to understand that sensing the foul energy is an esoteric phenomenon, not something that can be forced. Unlike Wang Yu, who merely enhanced his true eye to perceive the 5 strands of tainted energy, Zhao Chongshan had broken through, while the shadow and the dark hawk could only sigh in resignation. Though they beheld the same scene as Zhao Chongshan, they remained unresponsive, whether through sight or sensation. Only the solitary life-tainted energy was visible amidst the expanse, while the others eluded their gaze, rendering any notion of breakthrough moot. Wang Yu nodded, curiosity piqued, and looked again at Zhao Chongshan. This was his first experience witnessing someone achieve a breakthrough. Zhao Chongshan's spine seemed to be suddenly pulled upright by an unseen force, his previously stooped figure straightening abruptly in a somewhat bizarre manner. He opened his mouth, yet no sound escaped. However, Wang Yu clearly observed the movement of his Adam's apple as the tainted energy slid down his throat, settling in his lower dantian. Zhao Chongshan aura surgi dramatically. Concentrate, he finally uttered, his voice raspy and far from human. With his powerful shout, a wave of gray energy erupted around him, sending dust flying within a 10-foot radius. Zhao Batian and the others were caught off guard, pushed back by the forceful gust, their faces etched with astonishment. Wang Yu furrowed his brow, his mental energy surging like a tide, dispersing the dust and debris, allowing him to sense the transformative shift occurring within Zhao Chongshan. The previously stagnant, tainted energy now roared and surged like a wild dragon freed from its chains, racing through his meridians with fervor. With each cycle, the tainted energy absorbed and integrated a fragment of the life-tainted energy, becoming increasingly refined and ferocious. Such a formidable aura. The Dark Hawk could not restrain a gasp of shock, aware that, at this moment, Zhao Chongshan could likely obliterate them both in an instant, even if they joined forces. Zhao Chongshan slowly raised his head, his eyes glinting with ferocity, his aura continuing to escalate. Ha! I, Zhao Chongshan, have finally stepped into the second layer of the tainted realm. He howled to the heavens, his voice brimming with uncontainable excitement and arrogance. Observing the scene before him, Wang Yu silently nodded in agreement. Indeed, Zhao Chongshan's advancement was no small feat, especially at his age, as he had only now reached the second layer of the tainted realm. Yet a sliver of caution arose within him, sensing that Zhao Chongshan's state appeared somewhat unstable, almost volatile. The Dark Owl discerned Wang Yu's confusion and elucidated. The turbid energy is inherently a contaminant of the world. Its absorption inevitably engenders adverse effects upon the individual. Excessive intake within a short span can impair one's mental faculties. However, should one temporarily cease the absorption of this turbid energy and allow for a period of recuperation, restoration is achievable. Yet, neglecting this matter, allowing one's mind to languish under the influence of turbid energy for an extended duration, may ultimately lead one to become a remorseless fiend, deriving pleasure from the act of killing. Ah, I see, Wang Yu replied, understanding fully as he gazed upon the newly ascended Zhao Chongshan. Name, Zhao Chongshan. Age, 79. Height, 173 centimeters. Charm, 62. Physique, 310. Effect, 92. Realm, second level of turbid energy. Skills, Wing Chun Master. Tai Chi Master, Divine Technique. Blade strikes the 8 wastelands. Upon completion of his breakthrough, Zhao Chongshan imparted a few words before retreating to his room, shutting the door firmly behind him. He intended to refine the newly absorbed turbid energy, integrating it with the existing energy within his body. Moreover, he resolved not to venture outside until he had liberated himself from the influence of the turbid energy, lest a moment of discontent lead him to take life for amusement, which could result in dire consequences, including a potential manhunt by the celestial realm. The following day, after concluding matters pertaining to the Zhao family, Wang Yu bid farewell to Zhao Batian and Ning Xiuhua, preparing to depart. Meanwhile, Zhao Chongshan remained sequestered in his room, focusing on self-cultivation. Naturally, Zhao Siyuan intended to accompany Wang Yu back to the Magic City, for she was eager to spend every moment with him, reluctant to part ways. Furthermore, she was still in the midst of her internship and could not afford to take an extended leave. As the vehicle ascended the expressway, speed increased. 2 hours later, at 10:30 in the morning, they arrived in the Magic City. Wang Yu glanced down at Zhao Siyuan and inquired, "Will you return to school? Or head directly to work?" "I suppose work," Zhao Siyuan replied, her expression morose. "Unlike you, I must balance my studies with my internship, and it's utterly exhausting. The office is filled with inept individuals, embroiled in petty power struggles. They drive me to the brink of madness." Wang Yu caressed Zhao Siyuan's fair legs, noting her youthful vitality accentuated by a light floral dress. After a moment of contemplation, he asked, "Which company have you joined?" "Beauty and cosmetics, not a major corporation, but it's brimming with beautiful ladies. I wonder if you might be interested," Zhao Siyuan teased, attempting to gauge his reaction. Wang Yu chuckled and replied, "In that case, why not join my company as my assistant, akin to Long Lily, handling some minor tasks?" "Are you serious, senior?" Zhao Siyuan exclaimed, her interest piqued and surprised that Wang Yu would extend such an invitation to Whale Capital. "Absolutely," Wang Yu affirmed nonchalantly. With Wang Yu's encouragement, the shadow driver steered the car directly toward Whale Capital. Soon, they arrived at the base of the central tower. Wang Yu escorted Zhao Siyuan into the elevator, heading toward the company. As the elevator doors opened, the receptionist immediately took notice, promptly bowing and greeting them. Wang Yu merely nodded, taking Zhao Siyuan's hand as they entered the office. Along the way, employees instinctively paused, standing respectfully at either side, adhering to workplace decorum. Some young women cast envious glances at Zhao Siyuan, who was being led by Wang Yu. Was he seeking yet another romantic partner? They lamented their own average looks, wishing they could experience the thrill of a celestial romance with Wang Yu. Wang Yu paused momentarily outside the chairman's office, casting a playful glance at Li Meng. Since his return, this marked the first time he had appeared in the company. Did he harbor secret intentions? Contemplating this, Wang Yu addressed the sorrowful-eyed Li Meng. "Please come in." "All right," Li Meng responded, withdrawing her gaze from Zhao Siyuan and offering Wang Yu a sweet smile. Just as she was about to follow Wang Yu into the office, Long Lily approached briskly. She glanced at Li Meng and inquired, "Has Mr. Wang gone in?" "Yes. He just entered," Li Meng replied. Upon hearing this, Long Lily swung open the door and stepped inside, with Li Meng closely following. Long Lily cast a curious glance at Li Meng before turning her attention to Zhao Siyuan, assessing her from head to toe. With a smile, she remarked, "Mr. Wang, who is this? You've arrived just in time. This is Zhao Siyuan. From now on, you two will be sisters," Wang Yu stated unabashedly. He then turned to Zhao Siyuan and added, "You shall serve as my assistant henceforth. The workload is relatively light. You can start by familiarizing yourself with the business alongside Lily." "Thank you, Junior," Zhao Siyuan replied, meeting Long Lily's gaze with unwavering confidence. She continued, "I appreciate your guidance." "Lily, guidance? Nonsense. We shall be sisters from now on. Allow me to introduce you to the responsibilities of the role," Long Lily cheerfully declared, stepping forward to link her arm with Zhao Siyuan's and leading her to explore the tasks an assistant ought to undertake. In an instant, the office was left with only Li Meng standing solitary in the center. Wang Yu glanced at her. Today, she donned a fitted black pencil skirt that accentuated her tall figure, paired with silver high-heeled shoes that elongated her legs. Her long, lustrous black curls were loosely pinned at the back of her head, with a few strands gracefully framing her face, enhancing her swan-like neck. Adorning her ears were dazzling gemstone earrings, radiating brilliance. She bore no resemblance to an ordinary employee. Rather, she appeared as if attending a grand soiree. Li Meng cast a sidelong glance at Wang Yu, seated behind the desk, her heart sinking further. She bowed her head in silence. He had already found an assistant. Was he intent on dismissing her? It was understandable, given Zhao Siyuan's beauty, which surpassed her own. It was only natural that Wang Yu would be attracted to her. Li Meng felt inadequate, possessing little more than her looks and a respectable lineage. Wang Yu displayed no affection towards her. Despite the passage of time, their conversations remained limited, and the relationship had not progressed as she had once envisioned. The thought of him so eagerly appointing Zhao Siyuan as his assistant seemingly eager for her departure, made Li Meng feel increasingly aggrieved. As a young lady of a prominent family, the Li family was renowned throughout Huagua, and countless wealthy heirs and distinguished youths vied for her affection. She did not spare them a glance. Yet Wang Yu's unprecedented initiative had now led to this outcome. A smirk tugged at the corners of Wang Yu's mouth as he was about to express his agreement when Li Meng's voice cut through the air. I'll just leave. I have no desire to work here, she declared. After forcing out those words while suppressing her inner turmoil, she defiantly continued, I know you don't like me, and I don't need your affection. I've had enough. I'll want to be coming back this afternoon. Goodbye. Without waiting for Wang Yu's response, Li Meng feigned nonchalance as she turned away, although the glimmer of tears betrayed her fade. Wang Yu's expression froze, caught off guard. What was happening? Why was this young lady resigning? Was she unhappy at work? Wait. As Li Meng hastened towards the door, Wang Yu sprang to his feet, calling out, Is someone at the company bullying you? Li Meng halted, her back still turned to him. Is there anything else? Are you coming back? Did someone mistreat you? Wang Yu inquired, frowning. No, Li Meng replied softly, shaking her head. Then why the sudden decision to leave? Come sit down and let us have a proper talk. Li Meng remained unmoved, silent, still with her back to him. With a sigh, Wang Yu realized that since Li Xiang had sent her to the company, he needed to be attentive, otherwise the little chubby boy might seek him out for retribution. With that thought, Wang Yu reached out and grasped Li Meng's hand. She flinched slightly, but surprisingly did not resist vigorously. He led her to the sofa, where she sat with her head bowed, still silent. Wang Yu felt increasingly helpless. Sister, speak to me. What's going on? At his words, Li Meng suddenly looked up, unable to hold back her tears any longer, and cried, You look down on me. Yet you call me sister, just because I'm 2 years older than you. You disdain me so much? If you don't like me, just say so. You even have Zhao Si Yuan as your assistant right in front of me. You want me gone, don't you? If that's the case, I'll leave. And you pretend to care, asking who bullied me. It's you, the filthy man who has tormented me. Li Meng was inconsolable, covering her face as she attempted to rise and leave. Wang Yu, using his mental prowess, restrained her and pulled her to the sofa, enveloping her in an embrace. The mental force dissipated shortly after. Li Meng, lost in her own world, was oblivious to the absurdity of the situation, primarily because the mental influence had been brief. Wang Yu held her tightly. Li Meng struggled fiercely, indignantly exclaiming, Let me go, you scoundrel. You vile man. Wang Yu found himself a loss for words. He had not anticipated Li Meng's sentiments. It seemed he had neglected her for too long, finally breaking through her defenses. Yet perhaps it was time to pluck this vibrant flower. Do you truly despise me so much? Wang Yu asked with a smile. I utterly detest you. Most profoundly. Li Meng's eyes were red, tears streaming down her cheeks uncontrollably. I don't want to see you. Let me go and find your Zhao Si Yuan and Long Lily. They're your girlfriends. What right do you have to embrace me? I detest you. Wang Yu inwardly scoffed, truly a stubborn one. If it weren't for the fact that his genuine perception revealed Li Meng's dwindling affection for him, almost down to 90 points in such a short span, he might have believed she truly despised him. Women's words often require interpretation in reverse. At that moment, Wang Yu leaned in to plant a kiss on her delicate cherry lips. Li Meng, struggling in his embrace, froze in shock, her gaze fixed on his handsome visage. With his sword-like brows and captivating eyes, his high nose was immaculate even at such proximity. How could he be so strikingly handsome? Her heart raced violently. Under Wang Yu's domineering and fervent kiss, her eyes fluttered shut, her mind gradually blanking out. Wang Yu's hand boldly traversed her long, elegant legs, caressing them with finesse. The sensation was exquisite, truly a delight. He was reluctant to let go. Soon, Li Meng's breathing quickened, prompting Wang Yu to reluctantly release her alluring lips. Li Meng opened her eyes, her face flushed. Why did you suddenly kiss me? I absolutely loathe it. Although her eyes sparkled with delight and shyness, her words contradicted her inner feelings. Wang Yu chose not to expose her facade, smiling as he replied, Because you are beautiful, and I like you. Li Meng's mind erupted in disbelief. Wang Yu called her beautiful. He said he liked her. Surely this could not be a dream? How could she be asleep in broad daylight? No, this must be a dream. She and T fully awakened. Wang Yu could not possibly have feelings for her. If he truly did, he would have responded to her invitations long ago. Wang Yu kissed her again, and this time, Li Meng did not resist, surrendering to the fantasy. She responded fervently, and Wang Yu held her even tighter, her legs instinctively wrapping around his waist. In that moment, she felt dazed, gradually succumbing to her burgeoning feelings under his caress. As they kissed, Wang Yu made his way toward the lounge, not forgetting the mission of winning over the goddess. The points were awarded based on appearance. He first purchased a beauty elixir from the system store, followed by several potions to enhance Li Meng's allure, raising her beauty score to a perfect 100. The potions cost him 2,300 points. Though Li Meng found it somewhat peculiar, she obediently consumed the elixir, believing it to be mere medicine, albeit feeling increasingly bashful. After all, was it appropriate to indulge so extravagantly on their first encounter? Before long, delightful moans echoed from the lounge. Ding! Congratulations, host, on successfully winning over the goddess Li Meng. You have earned 888 points. Engaging in joyful adult games with Li Meng proved to yield far more points than assisting the Zhao family in vanquishing Old Demon Fong. This system was truly remarkable. The tasks were perfectly tailored to his desires. Li Meng, naturally, did not make a fuss about resigning or leaving the company. Instead, she fell into a deep slumber in the lounge of Wang Yu's office. Wang Yu, having dressed himself, exited the company alongside Long Lily, boarding the Apollo vehicle. The yacht and private jet he had long anticipated were already arranged by Long Lily, with the relevant company representatives awaiting their arrival. Upon his earlier return, overwhelmed by numerous tasks, he had not prioritized these arrangements. Now, however, he could hardly contain his eagerness. His bank account had swelled to an astonishing 480 billion, all in cash. With such a substantial liquidity, he had effortlessly surpassed the cash king of Beijing. No one in the nation boasted more cash than he did, not even Wang Zhangwo. Yet, despite this immense wealth, Wang Yu found himself devoid of a yacht or an aircraft, which he deemed rather disappointing. Even the impoverished Wang Xikong and Qin Fun had managed to acquire yachts and private jets despite their limited finances. Wang Yu sighed, recognizing it was high time he indulged himself. As one of the world's elite second-generation affluent individuals, and the one with the most cash flow, lacking a yacht and private jet was simply unacceptable. These were standard possessions for the wealthy, and he desired them as well. He already owned numerous supercars, but he yearned for the experience of sailing a yacht and engaging in aerial activities aboard an aircraft. Traveling long distances via private jet would also prove considerably more convenient. Wang Yu was growing increasingly impatient, pressing the accelerator with greater intensity. My husband, regarding your previous request for me to arrange the purchase of a private jet and yacht, I have successfully contacted the relevant companies. Long Lily, seated in the passenger seat of the Apollo, smiled and announced, "We will first head to this location. The representative from the aviation company is already waiting at the airport." Long Lily then elaborated, explaining that typically aircraft are manufactured in advance and sold by the manufacturers. Subsequent customizations and other services are generally managed by aviation companies. In Huagua, there are numerous regulations and oversight regarding private jets, with an array of procedures to follow. Aviation companies serve a role akin to that of car dealerships, acting as specialized purchasing institutions. Chapter 466, Gulfstream Series at the airport parking lot. Wang Yu parked the vehicle and disembarked alongside Long Lily. The representative from the aviation company, previously contacted by Long Lily, had been waiting for some time. Upon seeing Wang Yu exit the car, the aviation company's representative hastily adjusted his attire, ensuring everything was in order before hastening toward him. "Hello, Mr. Wang. I am Dong Jinjia, the general manager of General Aviation. It is truly an honor to finally meet you in person," he exclaimed, appearing to be in his 40s or 50s, yet maintaining a respectable physique. Dressed in a professional suit, his face adorned with a smile that revealed numerous lines of respect. "Greetings, Mr. Dong," Wang Yu replied, shaking his hand with a smile. "Please, just call me Xiao Dong. It is our privilege that you have personally come to oversee our business," Dong Jinjia responded, expressing utmost reverence. Dong Jinjia complimented, and the other company leaders beside him were equally enthusiastic. After all, Wang Yu's reputation in Huagua is unparalleled. They could not afford to offend such a prominent heir from a prestigious family. With his astonishing status and friendships with tycoons like Wang Xikong, they tread carefully, ensuring that their efforts did not fall short, lest they upset Wang Yu and invite trouble upon themselves. Moreover, Wang Yu is overseeing their business, further intensifying their eagerness. After a round of pleasantries, Dong Jinjia remarked, "Mr. Wang, our company collaborates with numerous aircraft brands. We have every renowned model from both domestic and international markets." He cast a smile towards Wang Yu and continued, "I wonder if there are any specific models you have in mind. If not, it's no trouble at all. I can provide you with a detailed overview. Let us take a look at the Gulfstream series." Wang Yu responded without hesitation. The Gulfstream series boasts immense popularity online, reigning supreme in the realm of private jets, and is the unequivocal choice among the affluent. Naturally, he was eager to witness the excellence of this series firsthand. Should everything meet his expectations, he could proceed with the order without wasting too much time. Certainly, Mr. Wang, Dong Jianjie replied, his smile growing increasingly fervent. The other company executives chimed in, Mr. Wang, let us head over now. I will guide you. Their eagerness was understandable, as no one dared to underestimate Wang Yu. The higher-ups were directly involved in ensuring that he experienced the utmost comfort and service. Dong Jianjie even jogged to the Apollo vehicle, courteously opening the door for Wang Yu. How thoughtful, Wang Yu replied with a smile, reboarding the vehicle with Long Lily, following the procession of Rolls-Royces ahead as they drove towards the airport's interior. After traversing a little over a kilometer, they entered a dedicated passageway under the guidance of airport staff. The airport security personnel conducted a meticulous inspection, permitting their passage only after confirming everything was in order. Subsequently, the Apollo traversed a corridor, arriving at a vast expanse of concrete where several aircraft were stationed. In the distance, one could see passenger planes ascending into the sky, roaring as they took flight, the thunderous sound reverberating through the air. Despite being ensconced in the multi-million-dollar Apollo, whose soundproofing far surpassed that of ordinary vehicles, the cacophony of departing aircraft resonated distinctly in Wang Yu's ears. The vehicle continued its course, eventually halting before a hangar. The moment the car came to a stop, Dong Jianjie promptly opened the door and hurriedly exited, approaching Wang Yu's vehicle to assist him. Wang Yu maintained a calm demeanor as he stepped out, following Dong Jianjie towards the hangar, who was explaining the various operations within the airport. In addition to the well-known commercial flights, the airport also facilitated logistics, courier services, and private jet operations. The various regional functions are meticulously delineated, each operating in isolation, akin to the necessity for prior notification and approval for the takeoff and landing of private aircraft. The opportunity to act has arisen. This storeroom serves as the exclusive repository for the General Aviation Company specializing in the sale of private jets. The aircraft acquired by the company are predominantly housed here, under the vigilant care and maintenance of dedicated personnel. When a client expresses interest in making a purchase, they are escorted here for an on-site inspection. Approaching the storeroom, Dong Jianjie paused, gesturing towards the building. Mr. Wang, the Gulfstream series aircraft are all located here. Wang Yu raised his gaze to observe that the exterior of the storeroom appeared rather modest and limited to a single story. However, the ceiling soared to a height of over 10 meters. The main entrance was securely locked, concealing the interior's contents. Dong Jianjie produced a walkie-talkie and called out. Receiving a prompt response from within, opened the door. Received. After shutting off the device, Dong Jianjie approached the entrance's screen, initiating a facial recognition scan followed by a fingerprint verification. Following this sequence, the machinery whirred to life, and the door ascended. Inside, darkness enveloped the space. But in an instant, the lights flickered on, illuminating the interior like a bright void. At the heart of the expansive storeroom, 5 aircraft were stationed. Their exteriors gleamed in shades of white and silver. Apart from variations in size, Wang Yu could discern no distinct differences. In contrast to commercial airliners, these private jets appeared diminutive, with an overall height of around 5 meters and lengths exceeding 20 meters. Their fuselages exuded industrial elegance, with a streamlined form and resplendent white paint that shimmered under the lights, flawless and radiant. Near the tail section, the emblem of Gulfstream was prominently displayed. Despite their compactness and refinement, they commanded an impressive presence. At the center, a striking silver aircraft rested quietly. Its height surpassed that of the other planes, giving it a more substantial appearance amidst its companions. In comparison, this particular jet's sleek design evoked an illusion of a fighter aircraft. It was Wang Yu's first experience observing an aircraft at such proximity, stirring a wave of exhilaration within him. This was truly a possession befitting the affluent, a grand toy exclusive to the wealthy elite. In contrast to private jets, luxury vehicles seemed utterly trivial. Dong Jianjie, noticing the longing in Wang Yu's eyes, confidently elaborated. These 5 aircraft represent some of the most sought-after models from Gulfstream. We have the Gulfstream 450, 550, 600, and 650. The centerpiece, however, is the latest and most opulent model released by Gulfstream, the Gulfstream 700. Wang Yu shifted his gaze from Dong Jianjie to the silver aircraft before him, the Gulfstream 700, his eyes brimming with desire. Chapter 467. The purchase merely from the exterior, the Gulfstream 700 commands attention with its impressive dimensions, a fuselage length of 33.48 meters, a wingspan of 28 meters, and a height of 7.75 meters, presenting a formidable presence. Let's take a look inside, Wang Yu remarked casually. Of course. Dong Jianjie promptly agreed. Allow me to show you the Gulfstream 700 first. If it does not meet your expectations, we can explore other aircraft. Wang Yu nodded in affirmation and followed Dong Jianjie towards the descending staircase leading to the aircraft. As Wang Yu placed his right foot on the first step, Dong Jianjie thoughtfully cautioned, Mr. Wang, please mind the steps. In a moment, they ascended into the cabin. The interior unfolded before Wang Yu, accompanied by a subtle aroma of fine leather. Underfoot lay a plush carpet. Dong Jianjie began his introduction. The cabin features a zone design. The front section comprises a meeting area accommodating 4 individuals, furnished with 2 deep brown leather sofas facing one another, separated by a walnut coffee table. Behind the meeting area, a frosted glass partition delineates the more private rest area. The layout of the rest area further enhances privacy. To the left is a retractable double sofa bed, while the right wall houses a liftable 4K HD display screen that seamlessly integrates with the cabin wall when lowered and connects to satellite signals for film playback when raised. Proceeding further inward, one encounters a compact dining area. The marble-top dining table is accompanied by 4 high-back chairs with legs crafted from carbon fiber, epitomizing opulence. At the far end lies the independent master suite, dominated by a spacious double bed that occupies a significant portion of the room. The mattress features a layered design of memory foam and latex. The headboard, a single slab of polished agate, exudes a warm, jade-like sheen. Flanking the bed are 2 nightstands, each concealing a mini refrigerator capable of holding several bottles of champagne and an ice bucket. Adjacent to the master suite is a bathroom with a wet and dry separation. The vanity countertop is crafted from a single large piece of marble, while the mirror is an anti-fog smart screen that displays time and flight information, with the option to switch to a conventional mirror mode. The shower area allows for adjustable water pressure via a knob, with hot water available for up to 12 hours. The overhead cabin walls are adorned with a light gray fabric, studded with countless tiny lights that simulate a starry sky. The lighting can even be altered to reflect different scenarios, such as sunrise and sunset. The cabin's soundproofing is exemplary, even near the engine. Only a faint whisper of airflow is audible. Dong Jianjie speaks without raising his voice, and his words resonate clearly throughout the space. Wang Yu surveyed his surroundings. While the interior decoration may not flaunt ostentation with jewels or extravagant luxuries, it undeniably reflects the craftsmanship poured into every detail. It is understated yet luxurious. This aircraft's cabin is considerably more spacious, accommodating up to 19 passengers and providing sleeping arrangements for 13, Dong Jianjie stated. Moreover, the kitchen spans over 3 meters and is equipped with an air purification system, ensuring 100% fresh air to cultivate a healthy and comfortable cabin environment. The Gulfstream 700 is complemented by a biological rhythm regulation lighting system, high-speed wireless internet, and satellite communication, providing a wider array of choices for your flight time while enhancing comfort. After detailing the cabin layout and remarkable features of the Gulfstream 700, Dong Jianjie remarked with a smile, should you decide to order this aircraft, feel free to convey any additional requirements, and we shall redesign and rearrange it according to your desires, ensuring you enjoy an unparalleled travel experience. Furthermore, these services are complimentary. Upon purchasing the Gulfstream 700, we will also provide you with a pilot boasting 1,000 hours of flight experience. Of course, the pilot's salary will be your responsibility, should you wish for ongoing maintenance. Our company offers management services, allowing you to entrust the aircraft to us for a modest management fee, alleviating any concerns you may have. Dong Jianjie did not delve into the aircraft's performance or flight speed, as these factors were deemed irrelevant by Wang Yu. As the general manager of a general aviation company, he recognized the core demands of clients, emphasizing comfort, safety, and convenience, the primary concerns of affluent individuals. Wang Yu stroked his chin and turned to Long Lily beside him, asking, "What do you think?" "It's fantastic." Long Lily's cheeks flushed slightly, her face reflecting agreement. After hearing Dong Jianjie's introduction, if it weren't for her financial constraints, she would have been tempted to purchase one for herself. However, private jets come with a hefty price tag, and the subsequent costs for fuel and maintenance are substantial. Each flight, especially longer ones, incurs fuel expenses in the millions, not to mention the repairs and upkeep required after each journey, along with the pilot's salary. Even with management by a general aviation company, the annual maintenance and repair costs can exceed tens of millions. This is one reason why private jets symbolize the pinnacle of wealth. Most affluent individuals cannot afford them, let alone maintain them. Long Lily was no stranger to private jets, having encountered them frequently at the industrial and commercial bank. Yet, this did not equate to ownership. The notion of a private jet as an ultimate luxury felt exceedingly distant for her. Without Wang Yu, she likely would never have the opportunity to board one. Overwhelmed by the lavish interior, she was utterly astonished. Receiving Long Lily's affirmation, Wang Yu turned back to Dong Jianjia and inquired, "What is the price of this Gulfstream 700? The current price of the Gulfstream 700 is $95 million, Dong Jianjia replied, fully aware of the aircraft's pricing. Suppressing his excitement, he continued, "At today's exchange rate, that amounts to 6.84 billion yuan. 6.84 billion. This price for a private jet nearly rivals that of a conventional passenger aircraft. As you are our most esteemed client, we shall offer you the most favorable price. Only 6.5 billion yuan will be required. The company will also handle and cover the subsequent paperwork and various fees." Without Wang Yu needing to say a word, Dong Jianjia readily extended the maximum discount, showing no hesitation. He is merely a general manager. A small concession to win Wang Yu's favor is indeed worth the effort, especially since it is not his money. Dong Jianjia remarked with a smile, "Should you choose to place an order, I shall exert every effort to facilitate the necessary procedures. Once all inspections of the aircraft are satisfactorily completed, it will be promptly delivered into your hands. This process shall not exceed 25 days. Wang Yu nodded in acknowledgement. The cost of 6.5 billion is manageable, as the subsequent procedures will be handled by the aviation company, which is quite advantageous. After all, this is the latest model of the Gulfstream aircraft. However, 25 days is required, and some have waited longer, even with a professional company like the aviation firm. The purchase of a private jet necessitates adherence to protocols. The aircraft must undergo thorough inspections and test flights, among other requirements. Following these steps, official reviews must also be conducted, which can be exceedingly cumbersome. After all, this involves flying at altitudes of 10,000 meters, where even the slightest oversight could result in catastrophic failure. Care must be taken, although Wang Yu harbored no concerns in this regard, as he possessed the ability to fly with his mind and feared no fall from such heights. The necessary procedures must still be observed. He had little interest in inspecting other aircraft. If he were to buy, he would choose the best. Money was not a concern for him. This one will suffice. Chapter 468. CCTV interview. Dong Jianjia was elated upon hearing this, but still inquired, "Mr. Wang, would you not consider viewing other options? This is, after all, a 6.5 billion aircraft. Typically, even wealthy individuals deliberate extensively before making such a significant purchase. How is it that you, in less than half an hour, have decided to proceed?" Even he, with his extensive experience, was taken aback. "No need for others. This is the one." Wang Yu replied nonchalantly, "Let us finalize the paperwork directly. I shall make the payment now. It is merely a private jet worth over 600 million. It holds little significance for me. I see no reason to dither and compare excessively." "Understood." Dong Jianjia refrained from further commentary, a smile gracing his face. "Shall you visit our company directly, or would you prefer we prepare the contract for delivery? Please send it to Jingtuan Capital. Our staff will handle it there. I have matters to attend to," Wang Yu stated, and with that, he and Long Lily prepared to depart. There was little left to concern themselves with. The aircraft purchase would naturally be conducted in the company's name, registered under Jingtuan Capital, which would yield numerous benefits. "Mr. Wang, please take your time. This way." "If you please." Dong Jianjia followed Wang Yu and Long Lily down from the aircraft, then opened the car door for Wang Yu once they reached the hangar. As Wang Yu drove away in the Apollo, Dong Jianjia remained behind, watching intently. This was a testament to his ability to attain the position of general manager at the aviation company. Having achieved such a rank, he remained humble, unfazed by the tasks at hand. Subsequently, Wang Yu drove to the dock, where representatives from the yacht company awaited. The moment he alighted from his vehicle, they approached him with utmost respect. Wang Yu got straight to the point, heading directly to inspect their finest yacht, the San Lorenzo 112, which is hailed as a masterpiece within the yachting world, combining the classic elegance of traditional luxury yachts with the contemporary allure of adventurous designs. The San Lorenzo 112 stands as a paragon in the global market, imbued with a rich blend of sci-fi and fashionable aesthetics. This vessel, measuring 34 meters in length and 8 meters in width, has captured the admiration of affluent individuals worldwide. The main deck boasts an expansive open space, featuring a living area, bar and dining zone. The bow area is equipped with a spacious sun deck that can be transformed into a secluded dining space, while the lower deck accommodates 3 generously sized cabins, including a master suite and 2 guest cabins. An internal spiral staircase elegantly connects the 3 levels, complemented by a streamlined external staircase. The yacht's color palette is dominated by soft, neutral tones, with furnishings crafted from naturally grained oak and exquisite woodwork. The decor showcases a selection of fine gemstones and marble, culminating in a staggering price tag of $1.6 billion. Although it may not possess the vastness and opulence of fully customized yachts, Wang Yu finds it more than satisfactory. The San Lorenzo 112 exudes a distinctive charm that resonates with his tastes, leading him to make an immediate decision to purchase the yacht. The yacht company's director was ecstatic, barely able to believe the swift decision made within mere minutes. Upon regaining composure, he inquired about the payment process. As customary, Wang Yu requested that they take the contract back to the company for financial verification before proceeding with the payment, ensuring that the yacht would be registered under the company's name to avert potential complications and minimize tax liabilities. The San Lorenzo 112 would also be temporarily housed by the yacht company, which offers professional storage facilities to shield it from the elements, along with comprehensive management services, including cleaning, maintenance, and insurance, incurring an annual expenditure of several million. After finalizing the purchase, Wang Yu shook hands with the yacht company's director and turned to leave. Upon reaching the roadside outside the dock, he pressed the key to unlock the Apollo, sliding into the driver's seat as Long Lily hurriedly followed suit. Once settled, Wang Yu pressed down on the accelerator, and the Apollo roared to life, speeding off into the distance. As the vehicle weaved through the streets, onlookers instinctively stepped aside, wary of potential collisions with the striking car. At a red light, a few pedestrians recognized Wang Yu inside the vehicle. "Look, the person in that car is Wang Yu," exclaimed one. "What luck to encounter a celebrity." A bold girl leaned out of her window, asking, "Hello, Mr. Wang, may I take a photo?" "Of course," Wang Yu replied with a smile, lowering the window completely and flashing a peace sign for the camera. This simple gesture sent waves of excitement among the countless girls, while the boys were taken aback by Wang Yu's affable demeanor, unexpectedly approachable beyond the lens. However, most men instinctively shifted their attention from Wang Yu to Long Lily, who adorned a professional suit that accentuated her captivating charm, further enhanced by the effects of a youthful elixir. Her beauty had ascended to an astonishing 96, with not a single blemish gracing her visage, rendering her even more captivating. Countless onlookers felt as though their own teeth might shatter from sheer envy. How infuriating! Oh, Haki, you fortunate soul! How blissful it must be to have a girlfriend of such exquisite beauty. They would willingly reside in a villa and drive luxury cars just for a chance to be with her. They had seen Long Lily on video, yet most remained skeptical, doubting that anyone could truly be as stunning as she appeared, attributing her allure to the magic of filters. Reality seemed a world apart. However, it soon became clear that in the flesh, Long Lily's beauty was unparalleled, matching her video presence without discrepancy. It was easy to imagine that the other women surrounding Wang Yu shared this same level of beauty, a thought that made their hearts ache with envy. They could only silently curse and critique capitalism. Yet, they too yearned for such a lifestyle, even if it remained merely a dream. Without extraordinary opportunities, they were destined to remain at the bottom rungs of society. Just the Apollo beneath Wang Yu was the embodiment of many people's dreams. The green light flashed, and Wang Yu smiled at the world outside before raising the window and accelerating away from the scene. The others understood the unspoken cue and refrained from pursuing him in their vehicles, instead capturing photographs of the Apollo and Wang Yu from various angles. "You're quite the celebrity now," teased Long Lily, a playful smile dancing at the corners of her mouth. Wang Yu reached out, playfully pinching her cheek before letting his hand rest on her long, sleek thigh, gently caressing it. "Of course, just look at who your husband is. He is now the national heartthrob, the people's darling." "Indeed, you're the best," Long Lily replied, her enchanting eyes blinking, her long lashes fluttering adorably. Feeling Wang Yu's touch, she drew her beautiful legs closer to him, facilitating his caress. Wang Yu let out a hearty laugh and glanced at Long Lily with a hint of desire. With a haughty snort, Long Lily shot him a playful glare, tying her hair back. She pouted her crimson lips, her seductive gaze fixed on Wang Yu as she leaned in closer. Before long, they arrived at the base of the central skyscraper. where Wang Yu parked on the street outside. He glanced at his wristwatch, a Vacheron Constantine, noting that it was already 4 in the afternoon. Turning to Long Lily, who was reapplying her lipstick with a compact mirror in the passenger seat, he said, "Darling, you should head up alone. I won't be going to the office today." "All right, dear," Long Lily replied with a smile. She opened the car door, preparing to alight when suddenly her phone rang. Long Lily retrieved her phone, her brow furrowing slightly as she looked at the screen. "Wang Yu, it's a reporter from CCTV at the office. They wish to interview you." "CCTV reporter?" "Yes," Long Lily affirmed with a nod. "They're already waiting in the conference room." The front desk directed them to the lounge. She studied Wang Yu's expression, hesitating before suggesting, "Should I come up with a reason to send them away?" Most affluent individuals are often reluctant to grant interviews to major media outlets. Recently, numerous media representatives have sought to interview Wang Yu, all of whom he has declined. Long Lily instinctively assumed that Wang Yu harbored a dislike for such engagements and sought a reason to dismiss the CCTV reporter. However, Wang Yu calmly remarked, "I will take a look. Their arrival is quite timely." Regardless of the intentions behind the CCTV journalist's visit, the opportunity to appear on such a prestigious platform aligned perfectly with his desire for increased exposure. Previously, he had refrained from accepting interviews from general media due to the inconvenience they posed. Unaware of whether the reporters were there to capitalize on his persona or were acting under instructions to uncover his background. A hint of amusement flickered across Wang Yu's face as he dismissed further contemplation and turned towards the elevator. Upon his return to the company, the receptionist promptly approached Wang Yu to relay the situation. The reporters from CCTV had been assigned to the lounge, consisting of 2 individuals, 1 male and 1 female. The young man was crouched on the floor, adjusting his camera, appearing quite prepared, while the woman exhibited an inquisitive demeanor, even showing interest in the receptionist, inquiring about the salary and benefits at Whale Capital. "Rest assured, I haven't divulged anything," the receptionist assured him, her youthful charm accentuated by her sweet appearance as she raised her finger in a playful promise. "Well done. An additional 1,000 to your salary." Wang Yu replied with a smile. "Yay, thank you, President Wang." The receptionist beamed, her joy evident as she bounced with excitement. Wang Yu proceeded to the lounge, while Long Lily retreated to her office to handle paperwork. Upon entering the lounge, he raised his gaze to find the young man half squatting on the floor, adjusting the camera, clearly youthful, with the lens aimed at the sofa area by the window. Upon hearing the noise, he immediately stood and turned, a hint of shyness on his face as he said, "You must be President Wang. I'm Li Tao from the CCTV Finance Channel." The young woman seated on the sofa also stood, clad in a cream-colored suit. Her long hair neatly tied back in a ponytail, and a delicate pair of glasses perched on her nose, her eyes behind the lenses sparkling with allure. "Hello, President Wang. I'm reporter Dong Bing." She extended her hand for a handshake, her smile radiant. "We sincerely appreciate your taking the time for this interview. I was quite worried about being turned down when we contacted your company." Wang Yu took her hand briefly, feeling a cool touch at his fingertips. "Since you are here, you are indeed a guest." He settled into a single sofa, crossing his legs and leaning back slightly. "What would you like to know, Reporter Dong? The business layout of Whale Capital or other matters?" These two seemed exceedingly youthful, almost resembling freshly graduated students, appearing professional yet possessing an air of naive innocence in their gaze. This did not seem to be the work of someone with a discerning agenda. Wang Yu furrowed his brow slightly, idly scrutinizing the pair before him. As Dong Bing tucked a stray lock of hair behind her ear, a faint blush crept across her cheeks as she pondered the handsome man before her, her thoughts drifting to unbidden notions. "To be candid, Mr. Wang, our primary intention for this visit is to discuss the esteemed original of the Lantingui Su that you have in your collection." As she spoke, Li Tao had already activated the camera, its lens discreetly focused on Wang Yu's expression. Recently, rumors have circulated online claiming that the long-lost original work of Wang Shiji has resurfaced, now in your possession. After considerable effort to verify this information, we have confirmed that this rare artifact is indeed in your hands. Dong Bing retrieved a notebook from her bag, revealing several printed documents tucked within its pages. It is noteworthy that this is something the calligraphy community has long yearned for, with academia engaged in ongoing debates about its existence. The fact that you have brought it back into the light is truly remarkable. Wang Yu's fingers gently traced the texture of his suit trousers, his gaze flickering with a subtle hint of surprise before returning to calmness. It turns out the news of the Lantingui Su re-emerging had drawn them here. He had anticipated a different conversation altogether and felt a touch of astonishment. Since reporter Dong has verified the information, I have no reason to conceal anything, he remarked, his fingers tapping on his knee as he looked into the camera, a smile gracing his face. Might you share how it came into your possession? This piece is indeed with me. I acquired it at a recent Christie's auction. Li Tao's camera momentarily shook, clearly taken aback by his candidness. Dong Bing paused, her hand holding the pen faltering, surprise flickering in her eyes behind the lens. Christie's auction? We consulted the auction record for that period and found no related information. Wang Yu replied meaningfully, some auctions are not publicly disclosed, so a lack of record is not unusual. Dong Bing quickly grasped this point. Indeed, auctions attended by affluent individuals are often rather private, making the absence of records quite common. Could you share with me, and the viewers, what transpired at the auction? Certainly. Wang Yu did not hesitate, recounting the events that occurred in the auction room, but only elaborating on the aspects relevant to the Lantinggi Su. Dong Bing swiftly noted his words, while the camera captured both his account and his figure. How much did you ultimately pay for this national treasure? Dong Bing inquired with curiosity. 15 billion. Wang Yu stated these two words with a nonchalant tone, as if discussing a routine business transaction. During the final bidding round, there was an audacious Japanese bidder attempting to secure it for their country. They sought to reclaim ancestral treasures as heirlooms, yet I was determined to bring it home. At such moments, money is merely a figure. Dong Bing and Li Tao were left in astonishment, both at the staggering sum of 15 billion spent on the Lantinggi Su and the thrilling nature of the bidding process. There was also an undercurrent of anger at the Japanese interference in attempting to reclaim the Lantinggi Su. Thankfully, with Wang Yu's willingness to invest such a fortune, this national treasure was secured. Otherwise, it might not have returned to Huagua within their lifetimes. Are you so certain it is the authentic piece? Dong Bing pressed on. After all, the market is rife with imitations, and even experts can make mistakes. Certainly. Wang Yu spoke with an undeniable confidence and said casually, I possess some understanding of this matter. The paper is a type of hemp paper from the Eastern Jin dynasty, and the ink is made from pine soot. The 7 seals above belong to a collector from the Song dynasty. And the most crucial aspect lies in the intricate strokes of the character Ji. When Wang Shiji composed the preface to the Orchid Pavilion, each of the 21 instances of Ji bore a distinct posture, each one unique. A mere imitation can never replicate that natural and effortless transformation. As Wang Yu spoke, admiration for the Orchid Pavilion preface gleamed in his eyes. Dong Bing hesitated for a moment and asked, I wonder if it would be convenient for you, Mr. Wang, to allow us to take a few photographs of the Orchid Pavilion preface? Upon hearing this, Wang Yu pondered for a moment before declining her request, saying, I apologize. The Orchid Pavilion preface is currently not in the Magic City. It has been transported to Rongqing. I hope you understand. It was not that Wang Yu was stingy. Rather, he feared that granting her permission to photograph would lead to incessant requests from others in the cultural sphere. These individuals, aging and immobile, frequently sought him out, leaving him at a loss for how to manage. Thus, he decided to quash the notion at its inception. No one would be allowed to view it. Dong Bing felt a twinge of regret, but had no compelling reasons to press further, so she acquiesced. Following this, Dong Bing posed several more questions to Wang Yu, covering topics of daily life as well as corporate matters. Wang Xikong, Qin Fun, and He Yu Jun, the affluent second-generation individuals and friends of Wang Yu, were also mentioned in passing. They were all figures of considerable controversy, naturally generating conversation. Dong Bing tactfully avoided delving into Wang Yu's private matters, such as his family background or the number of girlfriends he had, steering clear of any invasive inquiries. As the interview concluded, Li Tao switched off the camera, and Dong Bing rose, smiling. Thank you, Mr. Wang, for your cooperation in this interview. I believe this episode will surely attract a significant viewership. Subsequently, her enchanting eyes sparkled as she slightly parted her lips, biting her lower lip, and added, as a token of my gratitude, I wonder if you might have time for a meal? Let's forego the meal, Wang Yu replied, glancing up and down at Dong Bing. Even without employing his true vision, he could discern that she was not to his taste. I have some matters to attend to shortly. Perhaps we can arrange another time. Very well then. We shall take our leave, Dong Bing said, somewhat disappointed. After speaking, she and Li Tao turned to depart, harboring little hope for a future dinner invitation. Wang Yu's polite refusal had already granted her a measure of dignity. Should she persist in her pursuit, it would become inappropriate. She wished to leave a favorable impression on Wang Yu, and even if her heartfelt desires could not be fulfilled, there might be opportunities for further interviews in the future. Once Dong Bing and Li Tao had left, Wang Yu rose and approached the panoramic floor-to-ceiling windows, gazing at the iconic architecture of the Magic City outside. Working here was indeed a pleasure, and the magnificent scenery alone was enough to uplift one's spirits. Amid the fatigue of work, being over 100 meters above the ground, overlooking the Magic City, felt as though one were standing atop the heads of the multitude. An unexpected sense of joy welled up within him. Wang Yu ultimately returned to his chairman's office, diligently handling documents with the assistance of Long Lily. He sought to gain a comprehensive understanding of the tasks he had assigned during yesterday's meeting and their progress. The colossal vessel of Whale Capital had decisively altered its course, aggressively navigating towards international markets and adopting a formidable stance to engage with renowned media outlets in neighboring countries. Once Whale Capital successfully acquires foreign media, fulfilling its objectives, it would then launch offensives in other sectors, which would likely prove to be more manageable. The newly constructed building project had already entered the coordination phase with Yida Group. Wang Xizong's father had arrived in the bustling metropolis by plane. From Wang Xikong, it was learned that discussions had commenced with the city's high-level officials, and the outlook appeared promising. Construction was anticipated to commence before the year's end, with Yida Group already in the process of drafting design plans, which were expected to be received shortly. Ultimately, the decision would rest with Wang Yu. Wang Yu also placed a call to Zheng Jigang to inquire about the preparations for the charity foundation. Zheng Jigang delivered good news, informing him that he had leveraged some connections and the necessary procedures were underway, albeit requiring some time. However, the charity foundation's account had already been activated. Wang Yu promptly emptied the funds from his bank card, transferring a staggering 480 billion. After issuing a few instructions, he concluded the call. Ding! The system has detected that the host has spent 480 billion, triggering a double cashback of 960 billion. Wang Yu glanced at the time and prepared to depart. He approached the lounge door, knocked gently, and then pushed it open. Darling, have you finished your work? Li Meng, nestled under the covers with her phone, looked up at her beloved, her face illuminated by a radiant smile. Even her initial pride and stubbornness had vanished, for Wang Yu was the remedy for such defiance. Wang Yu stepped forward, embracing her head and planting a kiss, asking, "Have you rested well? Would you like me to take you home? I'm feeling a bit unwell." Li Meng replied, her tone laced with vulnerability. "I'll take you home then. I shall visit you again tomorrow." Wang Yu smiled reassuringly. Li Meng, in a playful manner, entwined herself around Wang Yu, pouting, "Then I want you to carry me." "Very well," Wang Yu replied indulgently, playfully rubbing her nose before lifting her up and helping her into her attire. Long Lily had already returned to her office. Regarding Wang Yu and Li Meng's affair, she chose to turn a blind eye. As long as Wang Yu continued to love her, that was sufficient. Wang Yu carried Li Meng out of the office. The employees witnessed the sight of Wang Yu cradling Li Meng, the assistant they all recognized. They understood that this young lady had come for Wang Yu. Yet many hearts shattered upon witnessing the scene. During this period, Li Meng had unwittingly become the dream goddess for countless men. Some bold individuals, emboldened by their courage, attempted to engage Li Meng, but all efforts were in vain. Now, they could only hear the sound of their hearts breaking into pieces. Amidst the chorus of lament from the employees, a fleeting look of triumph crossed Li Meng's face. Subsequently, she buried her face in Wang Yu's chest. Her cheeks flushed to the point of almost bleeding, while his unique scent permeated her senses. Her breath grew increasingly fervent. Outside the central tower, a crowd had gathered around Wang Yu's Apollo. Among them were some of the renowned socialites of the Magic City, exquisitely dressed and exuding a captivating allure. They posed provocatively in front of the vehicle, striking various enticing stances while capturing meticulously edited photographs. Aware that this was Wang Yu's car, they had deliberately come to the central tower, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. The moment they spotted Wang Yu emerging, their eyes brightened, only to be swiftly extinguished by the realization of their lost opportunity. Wang Yu continued to hold Li Meng in his arms as he made his way outside, undeterred by the gazes of onlookers, and finally set her down in front of the car. "Get in," he instructed, opening the door and assisting Li Meng into the vehicle. He then took his place in the driver's seat and started the Apollo. The powerful roar of the engine erupted, echoing loudly amidst the crowd. As the car sped away, leaving a cloud of exhaust in its wake, Wang Yu turned to Li Meng and asked, "Please provide me with your address." "Here you go," she replied, retrieving her phone and searching for her detailed address. "You really don't need to drive me. I live at Tangshini Pin, which is quite close." Wang Yu glanced at the screen, noting the specifics. Building 42, floor 42, apartment 4201. She had even revealed her secrets. He then adjusted the steering wheel, steering towards Tang Chunni Pin. Before long, the car entered Tang Chunni Pin, where Wang Yu parked in the underground garage. He once again lifted Li Meng into his arms as they ascended in the elevator, finally arriving at the 42nd floor. After entering the password and unlocking the door, the lights illuminated the space, revealing a delightfully feminine decor. The living room was adorned in creamy whites and soft pinks, with a few rabbit-shaped cushions casually strewn on the sofa, exuding an undeniable charm. Plush toys were scattered throughout the room, and the hallway walls were filled with photographs, snapshots of Li Meng in her school uniform, her beaming face holding cotton candy at an amusement park, and several group pictures with friends, all edged with pink lace. A faint aroma of strawberries wafted through the air, gently wafting into Wang Yu's nostrils. Chapter 471. Returning to the financial university. Upon returning to her room, Li Meng appeared more relaxed, shedding the shyness that had accompanied her under the scrutiny of others. She looked at Wang Yu and playfully said, "Stay here for dinner. I can cook for you." "You can cook?" Wang Yu replied, his expression one of surprise as he regarded Li Meng. After all, she had been accustomed to a life of luxury, where being fed was almost a necessity. He expressed his skepticism. "Are you underestimating me?" Li Meng retorted, playfully pinching Wang Yu's arm, only to find no mark left behind. She felt a hint of disappointment. Wang Yu took her hand in his, a smile gracing his lips as he reassured her. "How could I underestimate you? I simply did not expect you to be able to cook. Let us order takeout. Just look at your delicate skin. I cannot bear to see you cook." Li Meng glanced down at her fair and tender skin, a flicker of hesitation crossing her features. She was curious about what Wang Yu had fed her. After their playful antics on the bed, she noticed her skin had not only become smooth, but her face was so supple it seemed one could squeeze water from it. Any minor blemishes had vanished without a trace. Although her curiosity was piqued, Wang Yu offered no explanation, and Li Meng did not press the matter further. "Allow me to order takeout then. I know all the delightful spots around here," she declared. "All right, I shall follow your lead," Wang Yu replied with a smile. Li Meng then retrieved her phone and began to place an order, feeling a tinge of hunger herself. Selecting an array of her favorite dishes while also seeking Wang Yu's input. When the takeout arrived, Wang Yu joined Li Meng in her meal. As time flew by 8 in the evening, Wang Yu stepped out alone from Li Meng's residence, found his beloved car, and slowly drove away. The sky was overcast, with distant rumbles of thunder echoing. The wind picked up, providing a refreshing breeze. Wang Yu reveled in the coolness as he soon arrived at the entrance of the financial university, turning off the engine at the gate. He did not exit the vehicle, instead pulling out his phone to send a few messages. At the entrance of the university, groups of students were entering and exiting, their attention drawn to the sleek car parked outside. To avoid unnecessary commotion, Wang Yu closed the windows and slightly turned his head. After sending his messages, he started the engine again, parking near the food street before stepping out. The food street adjacent to the university was bustling with a lively atmosphere under the night sky. As he approached the entrance, the enticing aroma of barbecued meat mingled with the scent of cumin wafted towards him. The sizzling pork tenderloin on the grill emitted an enticing sound as the vendor skillfully sprinkled chili powder and sesame seeds over the golden skewers, causing the students in line to salivate. The popularity of the place seemed to have surged since his last visit. Wang Yu walked with a leisurely gait into the street. His calm demeanor led many to believe he was an illusion. A few stole glances, but quickly lost interest. However, his striking features and exceptional aura still attracted several young women who approached him for photographs. Most of the crowd were students from the university, and Wang Yu graciously obliged a few attractive ladies' requests for pictures. This effortless camaraderie only fueled the belief that he was merely an impersonator, and as the gathering slightly intensified, it gradually dispersed. Wang Yu paused in front of a Jianbing Guozi stall, confusion etched on his face. Where has Uncle Zhang's famous spicy hot pot gone? This had been the place where he consistently bought luosafen, which had never changed. Why had it transformed into a Jianbing stall? Was it possible someone had noticed the prime location and pushed Uncle Zhang out? Contemplating this, Wang Yu's expression darkened, and he took out his phone to inquire, only to catch sight of a familiar figure in the distance. He chuckled softly, relieved, and tucked his phone away as he took strides toward her. Lifting his gaze, Wang Yu observed that the establishment bore the unembellished sign of authentic luosafen, devoid of any ostentatious names or intricate designs, merely white with black lettering. Inside, the bustling figures of Uncle Zhang and Aunt Li could be seen. The atmosphere was quite lively, with a majority of the patrons being students dining in, while a small number were engaged in a different pursuit, wielding selfie sticks as they worked. They conversed animatedly with their phones, occasionally striking exaggerated poses. 2 additional servers, a young man and woman, were present, energetically attending to the customers. As Wang Yu entered, the young man approached him with a rehearsed smile, inquiring, "Good day. What would you like to eat?" "Luosafen, with an egg and pig's trotter, thank you," Wang Yu replied with a smile. The menu had expanded beyond luosafen to include various noodles and wontons, offering a more sumptuous selection. Upon hearing Wang Yu's order, the server's eyes widened in surprise as he exclaimed, "Are you Wang Yu?" Wang Yu simply nodded with an amused smile. He turned to call out to Aunt Li in the distance, "Mom, come here, brother Wang Yu has arrived." Aunt Li, balancing dishes in her hands, turned to look and, upon recognizing Wang Yu, her face brightened with delight. After placing the dishes on a nearby table, she hurried over, exclaiming, "Oh my, little Yu, what brings you here? Please, have a seat." Her eyes crinkled with joy as she wiped her hands on her apron, suddenly recalling something and slapping her thigh. "Uncle Zhang is still in the kitchen making bone broth and cooking the noodles. I shall fetch him right away." Wang Yu was about to intervene, but Aunt Li had already dashed into the kitchen. The sound of clanging utensils immediately echoed from behind the glass partition, accompanied by Uncle Zhang's hearty voice. "Is that rascal Wang Yu here?" No sooner had Aunt Li's voice faded than the kitchen curtain was flung open by a flour-dusted hand, revealing Uncle Zhang. Beads of sweat glistening on his forehead and stains of a deep brown broth adorning his apron. His eyes widened as he fixed his gaze on Wang Yu, then broke into a broad smile, the wrinkles at the corners of his eyes deepening into 2 crevices. "You lad, finally decided to show your face. It's been ages since you last dined here. I've been a bit preoccupied lately. I just got done with some matters," Wang Yu replied, attempting to rise, only to be gently pushed back down onto the plastic stool by Uncle Zhang, who then turned to the young man beside him and commanded, "What are you dawdling for? Bring a drink for your brother Wang Yu." "Oh, right away," the young man exclaimed, rushing to the refrigerator to retrieve a chilled cup of sour plum drink. Wang Yu accepted the drink, glancing at the young man and asking, "Who is this?" "This is my son, Zhang Wei, and the girl over there is my daughter-in-law, Li Nan." After the introductions, Zhang Wei shyly greeted, "Hello, brother Wang Yu." Uncle Zhang chuckled heartily, adding, "We owe you a debt of gratitude. If it weren't for your help in promoting us, we would still be struggling at the street stall. Ever since that time, so many people have come to our stall for luosafen that we decided to rent this shop as it was simply too busy to manage. Since his job wasn't going too well, I had him come back to assist." Wang Yu nodded, now understanding the circumstances. Chapter 472, The Watershed of Life at this moment. Zhang Wei called over his girlfriend Li Nan to introduce her to Wang Yu. Upon encountering the legendary Wang Yu, she was filled with joy, her expression shifting as if she wished to speak, yet hesitation lingered. She feared losing her composure in the presence of this illustrious scion of wealth. Wang Yu, perceiving the sweet girl's thoughts, understood her eagerness to capture moments for social media. Thus, he took the initiative to mention it, fulfilling her desire. At that moment, Uncle Zhang slapped his forehead and said, "Look at me, I've been chatting with you, and you must be hungry. I'll go prepare some snail noodles for you." "The usual 3 dishes?" "Yes, the usual 3. "All right, I'll bring it right away." After Uncle Zhang departed, Aunt Li and Zhang Wei attended to the new patrons entering the establishment. Suddenly, the diners who had been enjoying their meals or waiting for their dishes began to converge towards Wang Yu, particularly the influencers wielding their smartphones, each displaying palpable excitement. "Young Master Wang, is that truly you? I feel incredibly fortunate. May I take a few photographs with you? Brother, are you dining alone? Could I join you? Mr. Wang, could we film a segment together? Just one shot. Apologies, I am merely here to dine." Wang Yu furrowed his brow, taking a sip of the sour plum soup before stating, "I believe most people here are simply here to enjoy their meals, so please disperse. Do not disturb others while they eat. I can allow you to take photos, but kindly maintain your distance." However, his words had little effect. Wang Yu sighed. Why were they so disobedient, insisting on provoking him to resort to more extraordinary measures? He would not hesitate to act. With that, a tremendous force surged within Wang Yu's mind, like a tidal wave, descending upon them with the weight of a mountain. The group before him instantly turned pale, a muffled groan escaping their throats as they suddenly perceived Wang Yu as a fierce tiger, exuding a bloodthirsty aura, pressing down upon them. For reasons unknown, a profound sense of dread filled their hearts as they retreated to their seats, unable to meet Wang Yu's gaze. This bizarre scene caused Wang Yu to nod internally. The mental force he employed was not aimed at their physical bodies, but rather influenced them on a psychological level. It merely exerted a pressure that an average person could endure, instilling fear when they looked upon him, effectively placing them in a negative state. This was a subtle technique Wang Yu had developed after his previous confrontation with the old demon fawn. Soon, the snail noodles arrived, and Wang Yu began to eat heartily. Unbeknownst to Li Meng, who was unaware of his true appetite, Wang Yu was still unsatisfied. Just as he had taken a few bites, a commotion erupted outside. He set down his phone and lifted his gaze, only to see 3 beautiful young women standing outside the door, facing off against one another. Unbeknownst to them, a light rain had begun to fall, the gentle patter of raindrops mingling with the evening breeze, creating a hazy backdrop that accentuated the 3 figures. The girl on the far left dons a moonlight-hued dress, her skin almost translucent, with eyes subtly upturned at the corners. Despite her lack of expression, she resembles a lake infused with moonlight. In stark contrast, the young woman in the center, clad in denim shorts and sporting a ponytail, has wide almond-shaped eyes and lips that are full and ripe like freshly picked cherries. Though she stands defiantly, there's a playful defiance at the corners of her mouth. The girl on the far right undoubtedly captures the most attention among the 3, with her brilliant golden locks framing striking emerald eyes, high cheekbones, and shadowed eye sockets. At this moment, she squints slightly, casting a challenging gaze at the 2 equally beautiful women before her. This is indeed Ren Yangshuang, Zhao Siyuan, and Karina. Summoned by a call from Wang Yu, they arrived here, initially believing they were the only one invited, only to encounter each other at the entrance, leading to this scene. The men present were rendered speechless, incredulously gazing at them, while the girls looked at Wang Yu, unable to resist his good looks. The boys, upon seeing Ren Yangshuang and her companions, were equally enchanted. Encountering one such beauty is rare, yet here stood 3, one of whom was foreign. Ren Yangshuang and Karina were aware of each other's existence, while Zhao Siyuan remained relatively unknown. Thus, initially, neither Ren Yangshuang nor Karina recognized Zhao Siyuan. However, Zhao Siyuan, in a deliberate act of provocation, ignited Ren Yangshuang's ire. We have known each other for quite some time, and I consider you a close friend. Are you trying to seduce my husband behind my back? Oh please, seduce is too harsh. I admire Wang Yu as well. One more admirer hardly matters. Zhao Siyuan waved dismissively. Though you may have come first, I intend to be the main one. You wish to be the main one? I do not agree. Karina retorted angrily. Where did you emerge from? How do we know you aren't deceiving us? Ren Yangshuang also felt a surge of anger. Zhao Siyuan provocatively addressed them both. Are you unsatisfied? How about we settle this with a duel? Whoever wins claims the title of the primary partner. What do you say? Karina and Ren Yangshuang exchanged glances. Assessing their respective physiques, Karina disdainfully remarked, such arrogance. Do you truly believe I wouldn't wipe that smirk off your face? If you possess such capability, then by all means, I wouldn't mind if you both came at me together, Zhao Siyuan replied, her smile growing ever more radiant, eager for a challenge. Suddenly, a sharp pain struck her head, prompting her instinctive elbow to swing back. Who dares to ambush me? Are you seeking death? Ren Yangshuang and Karina turned to look, their smiles brightening as they approached. Darling, you're here. This raucous shrew wants to attack me. Enough. With so many people around, why create a ruckus? Ren Yangshuang and Karina clung to Wang Yu's arms, casting a challenging look at Zhao Siyuan. Zhao Siyuan merely shrugged dismissively. Observing this, Wang Yu directly took hold of Zhao Siyuan and led her into the establishment. Let's go inside for a meal. Have you all eaten yet? We have. The 3 responded in unison. Wang Yu paid no heed to their glances, indulging in his own meal while they continued their silent standoff. The onlookers, witnessing this scene, were rendered speechless with envy, soon giving rise to a cacophony of murmurs. What a wretched world it is, I lament, as I find myself without a girlfriend, while Wang Yu brazenly dates 3 at once. Such injustice. If only I could have just one of these exquisite beauties. I would endure even the exorbitant dowry of 388,000. To think they would stoop to such petty antics for such a sum. They clearly possess the virtues of good girls. I would offer 888,000. It is a pivotal moment in life, akin to being submerged in amniotic fluid. Were I to juggle multiple relationships, I would surely keep it under wraps, yet Wang Yu boldly parades them all together, unafraid of their potential tempers. Would they dare? Wang Xiao's status is unparalleled. Would he be lacking in goddesses? Should anyone utter a refusal, there would be countless willing to take her place in an instant. Amidst the whispers, Ren Yangshuang, Zhao Siyuan, and Karina momentarily subdued their expressions of anger. The truth in the discussions brought clarity to their muddled minds, and smiles began to grace their faces. Yet their words turned sardonic as they exchanged veiled jabs and attempted to elevate their own standings. Chapter 473. Under assault, Wang Yu chuckled ruefully, hastily finishing his bowl of snail noodles. In a bid to foster camaraderie, he resolved to take them home that evening, hoping to mend the rift between the sisters. As he piloted his Apollo two-seater, he instructed Rin Yangxiang and Zhao Siyuan to take a taxi, while Karina gleefully occupied his vehicle. This arrangement made Karina beam with pride, while Rin Yangxiang and Zhao Siyuan cast glances of reproach towards Wang Yu, fully aware that this was his deliberate orchestration. They had known each other since their school days, one reigning as the school beauty and the other consistently in second place. Thus they were considered close friends. Wang Yu aimed for them to reflect and resolve their discord. Soon, he drove off with Karina, while Rin Yangxiang and Zhao Siyuan, stamping their feet, chose not to return to school, fearing Wang Yu's ire. Instead, they hailed a taxi, following closely behind him. Once they departed, the crowd erupted in excitement, many lamenting the situation. Influential online personalities, brimming with enthusiasm, shared videos of the event on the internet, instantly drawing the attention of countless viewers. Meanwhile, disregarding the commotion outside the snail noodle shop, Wang Yu had arrived at the Tianmu Palace in his Apollo. He turned off the engine and exited the vehicle. Just as he shut the door, a dull thud echoed nearby, and he noticed a shelf fall at his feet, momentarily stunned. The piercing scream of Karina cut through the air. Recovering his senses, he swiftly pulled the still screaming Karina down onto the hood of the Apollo. A second deafening blast rang out, nearly shattering his eardrums, its resonance far more profound than the previous gunshot, slicing through the air with a shrill whistle. A bullet, as thick as a finger, lingered before him for a brief moment. Suddenly losing momentum, it fell to the ground with a crisp sound. It was a sniper rifle. A wave of fear washed over Wang Yu. Fortunately, he possessed a firearm immunity trait, or he would have met his end here today. He cast a glance at the still shaken Karina and directed his psychic energy towards the trajectory of the bullet. In the distance, a luxury car poised to start abruptly levitated into the air. Moments later, two figures clad in black were forcefully yanked out, standing upright in midair, before crashing down in front of Wang Yu. In an instant, bones were shattered. The lower legs were crushed under an immense force. Two anguished cries echoed wildly in the empty garage, and it was fortunate that only they were present, or Wang Yu would have struggled to act. One of the assailant's arms suddenly bent backward, exposing the mangled bone, twisted like a pretzel, resulting in an even more agonizing scream. The slurred words spilling from his mouth were incomprehensible, yet unmistakably laced with a Japanese dialect. The other man, still reeling from the agony of his shattered leg, soon found his fingers forcefully straightened, sharp spikes gradually piercing through his fingertips. Instantly, he convulsed in pain, gasping for breath, each inhalation tinged with a sob, as fragmented curses in Japanese, mixed with blood, spattered onto the ground. Japanese nationals? Wang Yu stepped through the blood to stand over them, looking down with an air of authority. "Speak, who sent you?" His voice was calm, yet exuded an undeniable pressure, tightening his psychic grip on their arms with increased intensity. The man whose arm had been twisted like a pretzel began to tremble violently, blood frothing at his mouth. His muddled Japanese interspersed with several Chinese words. "Why, you are a practitioner of the turbid Qi realm?" His pupils contracted in terror. He had initially believed they were merely assassinating an ordinary wealthy heir. The only risk was how to escape unharmed after completing the mission. Yet, who could have known that Wang Yu was a master of the turbid Qi realm? Their intelligence had been utterly flawed, and there was no turning back. The other man, with fingers impaled by psychic energy, gritted his teeth against the pain and suddenly lifted his head, revealing a grotesque expression on his bloodied face. "Your family will not let you go. Ha 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 ha. You're truly a madman." Wang Yu cursed inwardly. With a flick of his psychic energy, he swiftly ended their lives. These individuals were clearly mere pawns, and it was futile to expect any useful information from them. However, he knew that the Japanese adversaries he had conflicts with included only a few, Koizumi Shota and Abe Tetsuya, among others. It was evident they were behind this. After a moment of contemplation, he turned to see Karina cautiously hiding behind Apollo's vehicle. "It's all right now," he reassured her. At his words, Karina cautiously peeked out, visibly relieved. "Darling, are you okay?" Wang Yu shrugged. "What could possibly happen? Just a minor incident. Do you realize this is the first time I've encountered such a situation in Huagua? What organization dares to use firearms here?" Karina spoke, still somewhat shaken, patting her racing heart. "Let us go. We can discuss it further upstairs." Wang Yu retrieved a mobile phone and dialed the Shadow's number, succinctly recounting the recent events before ascending the elevator with Karina. The two corpses would be dealt with by the Shadow, requiring no concern from him. Upon arriving at the Celestial Palace, Zhao Siyuan and Ren Ningxuang were already seated on the living room sofa, blissfully unaware of the happenings in the garage. Wang Yu chose not to elaborate, instead fetching a fine bottle of wine to share with the women. It was these foreign women, accustomed to firearms, who remained composed after the earlier sniper encounter. Karina's expression was devoid of fear. Had Zhao Siyuan or Ren Ningxuang accompanied Wang Yu, they would likely have been reduced to tears and fright. What transpired next unfolded seamlessly. The young women, prepared to return with Wang Yu, settled down together on a single bed, though Ren Ningxuang and Zhao Siyuan exhibited a hint of shyness. Karina, on the other hand, was remarkably forthright, even displaying a subtle excitement. Wang Yu, having exerted himself throughout the night, eventually donned his clothes and stepped into the living room after ensuring the three women had succumbed to slumber. Outside, thunder rumbled and torrential rain fell, shrouding the entire city of magic capital beneath a heavy curtain of clouds. A faint smile graced Wang Yu's lips as he murmured, truly tenacious and remarkably patient. After enduring such a deluge for hours, is it finally time to act? Within his mental domain, a short figure clad in tight attire, resembling a ninja from cinematic tales, crawled slowly along the glass walls of the building, now reaching the 43rd floor beneath him. Upon returning to his room, Wang Yu employed his mental prowess to sweep across a 10,000-meter radius. Although he uncovered nothing of significance, he maintained a vigilant awareness. As for the short figure, it had entered his perceptive range several hours prior. Name, Koizumi Shur-san, age, 45, height, 165 centimeters, charisma, 52, physique, 480, affinity, tint, realm, second stage of turbid chi, skill, blade draw / master, divine ability, ninja art, 100 flow / chapter 474. The second transformation of mental power, a surge of formidable mental energy emanated from Wang Yu, reaching out toward the diminutive intruder. The torrential rain lashed against his face, yet Koizumi Shur-san remained unfazed, his turbid energy cloaking his presence as he ascended the floors above. Suddenly, an overwhelming sense of dread washed over him, leaving no time for reaction. The terror loomed like a mountain, pressing down upon him, and Koizumi Shur-san felt every fiber of his being groan in response. His katana remained sheathed at his waist, and in an instant he was ensnared by an invisible force, his limbs rendered limp and powerless. A muffled gasp lodged in his throat as he helplessly watched himself being pulled away from the wall by an irresistible power. The thought of self-poisoning to escape was rendered futile. The sky whirled rapidly in his vision, and in the next moment, his back collided heavily against an invisible barrier, leaving him suspended in midair. Wang Yu stood before him, his gaze akin to rolling thunder, coldly scrutinizing him. He beheld the suspended figure of Shimizu Shur-san, a smirk of disdain curling his lips, as his mental force tightened around the opponent's neck like a steel cable. Who gave you the audacity to come here to meet your demise? Firing a gun is insufficient, and yet you send a practitioner of the turbid chi realm. Do you not fear perishing here? Shimizu Shur-san's face turned a deep purple from asphyxiation. A practitioner of the second level of the turbid chi realm, now utterly immobilized. His black warrior attire was drenched, indistinguishable whether from rain or sweat. He could distinctly feel the overwhelming authority of the mental force, as if the very heavens were overturning in the palm of his adversary, rendering him merely an insignificant insect. Despair washed over him. He did not fear death. As a death warrior meticulously trained by the Shimizu clan since childhood, death had never been a source of trepidation. Yet now, he found himself yearning for death, unable to attain it. Even the poison in his mouth could not be crushed. Wang Yu's fingertips twitched slightly, loosening the mental grip around Shimizu Shur-san's neck by half a measure, only to tighten it abruptly as he attempted to inhale. This relentless torment caused Shimizu Shur-san's eyes to bulge, the veins in his neck writhing like worms. Yearning for death? You, of such lowly caliber, dare to speak of life and death? I shall make your existence a living hell. He stepped forward, his mental force transforming into an invisible giant hand that seized Shimizu Shur-san's wrist with brutal force. A series of sharp cracks echoed as the bones in Shimizu Shur-san's fingers shattered, the agony causing his entire body to convulse violently, the whimpers escaping his throat more grating than a broken gong. His fingers twisted grotesquely, droplets of blood seeping from beneath his nails and falling to the ground. 88 GA. Shimizu Shur-san struggled to utter a few words through clenched teeth, defiantly locking eyes with Wang Yu. Wang Yu raised an eyebrow. observing the flicker of undying ferocity in Shimizu Shur-san's gaze. Indeed, a tough opponent. However, if you seek my life, do not blame me for the consequences. His expression turned cold. With that, he abruptly raised his fingers, and the mental force enveloping Shimizu Shur-san acted with the force of a puppet string, violently yanking the contorted body towards the distant sky. The mental threads bound Shimizu Shur-san tightly, suspending him 100 meters above ground. In an instant, the sky crackled with lightning, seemingly drawn inexplicably towards Shimizu Shur-san's position. With a thunderous sound, the heavens tore asunder, and the lightning descended with a might to shatter the firmament. Raindrops vaporized instantaneously along the way, and the air was filled with a charred scent. Shimizu Shur-san writhed frantically within the confines of the mental force, the residual turbid energy within him boiling like a tempest. Yet he lacked even the space to twist his neck, forced to watch helplessly as the lightning expanded infinitely within his pupils. As the lightning struck him, Shimizu Shur-san's scream was abruptly severed in his throat. The electric serpent coursed into his orifices, and the turbid energy within his meridians crackled as if melting before the blazing sun. His skin carbonized in an instant, and his dark hair stood on end like steel needles. The eyes that once fixed on Wang Yu now burst under the intense heat, transforming into two charred voids. Wang Yu stood on the garden terrace, hands clasped behind his back, gazing at the pulsating lightning in the sky, his eyes devoid of any emotion. Yet, a muffled groan escaped his lips as he too felt the influence of the thunderous force. His mental energy remained entangled around Xiao Quan Shur-san like a spider's web, allowing a second, thicker bolt of lightning to descend upon him. This lightning seemed sentient, weaving a net of electricity within Xiao Quan Shur-san's body, methodically severing his bones. Xiao Quan Shur-san's torso convulsed violently amidst the storm, his carbonized flesh peeling away to reveal the stark white of his bones, enveloped in electric light. Subsequently, the third and fourth bolts of lightning struck him, ultimately reducing him to ashes. In the distant sky, only a crimson samurai sword remained, suspended in midair. Wang Yu too endured the relentless strikes of lightning, his brow slightly furrowing. The mental energy he had exerted upon Xiao Quan Shur-san seemed to undergo a refinement under the power of the lightning. Realizing this, a glint of brilliance shot from Wang Yu's eyes, and he clenched his fingers tightly. He channeled all his mental energy into the ominous clouds above. He could distinctly perceive that some chaotic essence was being purified by the thunder, akin to impure iron cast into a furnace, with the impurities evaporating in the flames, leaving behind an essence purer than gold or stone. Overjoyed, he spread his arms wide, akin to a mythical bird soaring towards the heavens. His entire being ascended into the depths of the dark clouds. The latent mental energy within him surged forth like a river, breaking its banks, transforming into strands of light that sought the heart of the thunderclouds. This was fortuitous. Wang Yu let out a long cry, his voice reverberating through the clouds and shattering the stones. He actively summoned the thunder of the heavens, allowing the dazzling bolts of lightning to repeatedly refine his mental energy. His mental energy thrived amidst the thunder, revealing intricate patterns akin to a circuit board on its surface, each pulse causing the surrounding air to tremble violently. Today, harnessing the might of the heavens and earth, I shall forge my mental energy into a transformative metamorphosis. Wang Yu's voice echoed as if from the ninth heaven, and as his words fell, he released the last vestige of his mental energy. In that instant, dozens of lightning bolts struck simultaneously upon his mental energy. Wang Yu floated within the depths of the thunderclouds and scathed under the protection of his mental energy, clearly sensing its profound transformation. Time passed unmeasured as the sky brightened. The rain that had fallen throughout the night gradually ceased. Wang Yu hovered thousands of meters above the ground. The star-shaped radiance upon his forehead flickered erratically before slowly fading from his consciousness. As he gently opened his eyes, a blinding golden light flashed momentarily. Fortune had smiled upon him. He had initially sought to torment Xiao Quan Shur-san, only to discover that the power of lightning could refine his mental energy as well. Could this be considered a second metamorphosis? Wang Yu carefully attuned himself to this change. This transformation had remarkably endowed him with the capacity to unleash approximately 10,000 units of power, a stark contrast to his previous abilities. The overwhelming power has inflated Wang Yu's confidence, making him feel that he now stands a chance against the likes of King Suzy, a formidable figure at the half-step Clear Chi realm, whom he had previously encountered. It could be deemed a fortunate accident, a blessing in disguise. Chapter 475. The Eye of the Evil God. At this moment, the sun at the horizon gradually revealed itself. Some early risers appeared on the streets, leisurely making their way to work. Wang Yu channeled his mental energy, his body slightly swaying, transforming into a streak of light that vanished from his original spot. Instantly returning to the balcony of the Tianmu Palace Garden. Glancing at the time, he noted it was already 6 in the morning. Zhao Siyuan and Ren Ningxuang were still asleep, tangled together in a disheveled embrace. This scene was exceedingly seductive, igniting a flicker of interest in the otherwise irritable Wang Yu. However, he had matters to attend to and turned to head into the bathroom to cleanse himself of the lingering stench. Before long, after freshening up, he grabbed a towel and casually dried his hair, then returned to the balcony with a chilled bottle of cola. He plopped down onto a lounge chair and took a hefty swig of the soda. Wang Yu let out a satisfied belch. How refreshing. It's fortunate that my body is resilient. Had I been in my former mortal state, such a frosty drink in the morning would surely lead to an upset stomach. A smile of contentment graced Wang Yu's face. He lacked for nothing now, possessing one of the most prestigious lineages in Huahua, with wealth enough to last generations. Moreover, he was surrounded by these sincere and affectionate confidants. Most people wouldn't even dare to dream of such a life. This idyllic existence must not be marred. He had to root out those lurking in the shadows, ensuring they met a fate without burial. A glint of terrifying murderous intent flickered in Wang Yu's eyes. His mental energy had reached a level where he could effortlessly slay warriors of the turbid Qi realm. Yet those around him remained his Achilles heel, like Ren Ningxuang and her companions in the house. Had tonight's assassination been aimed at them, they would already be lifeless. This was a scenario Wang Yu was unwilling to confront. Resolute, he thought, it was merely a matter of some points. They could be used, though it pained him somewhat. He had no better alternatives. Suddenly, a prompt from the system echoed in his mind. Ding! The system detects that the host is facing a choice and is issuing a task. Cleanse daily task. Please eliminate the enemies lurking in the shadows. Completing this task will yield 66,000 points. The task arrived at an opportune moment. Wang Yu clenched his hand tightly, shattering the cola bottle in his grip and tossing it aside without hesitation. He opened the system mall, searching for suitable items. Before long, his gaze settled on a particular item. Eye of the Evil God. Description: an eye filled with resentment from an evil god. Once opened, it will unleash overwhelming murderous intent. Effect: upon activation, it can lock onto all targets harboring animosity towards the host. The higher the animosity, the stronger the lock of the Eye of the Evil God. The Eye of the Evil God will automatically impose corresponding curses based on the target's animosity. From mild hostility, the target will experience symptoms like palpitations and nightmares. Obvious hostility: the target will encounter various unforeseen mishaps, such as tripping while walking, choking on water, or succumbing to minor ailments. Intense hatred: the target shall perish within 30 seconds, meeting a tragic end, their soul obliterated, impervious to any external intervention. Note: once the item is utilized, there is no turning back. Only those whose strength surpasses that of the malevolent deity can evade the curse. Price: 100,000 points. Wang Yu furrowed his brow, hesitating. This item was clearly the most satisfactory option available. Others were either exorbitantly priced or ineffective, requiring certain prerequisites like the blood, hair, or fabric of the enemy. Only the Eye of the Evil God, once activated, could automatically lock onto those who harbored animosity towards him, with the intensity of hatred amplifying its effects significantly, leading to utter obliteration. However, the price was rather steep, and he currently lacked the 100,000 points required. This presented quite a dilemma. He couldn't help but address the system. Could you possibly offer a discount? This item is simply too costly. I can't afford bankruptcy. The system remained unresponsive, leaving Wang Yu somewhat exasperated. Ever since the upgrade, the system had adopted a more aloof demeanor. It used to converse occasionally, but now it seemed to ignore him entirely. No discount. Well, I could temporarily borrow some points and return them upon task completion. Wang Yu persisted. Yet the system continued to behave as if it were devoid of intelligence, offering no reply. Wang Yu's expression darkened. If that were the case, he would have to forego the Eye of the Evil God and consider other items, albeit with lesser effectiveness. As he pondered, the price tag for the Eye of the Evil God in the system shop underwent a transformation. The numbers fluctuated, and in the blink of an eye, it changed to 35,000. Eye of the Evil God, 65 discount, priced at 35,000 points. Damn system. Wang Yu couldn't help but mutter. though a smile still graced his face. He swiftly clicked to purchase. A flash of white light enveloped him, and he found a card in his hand. Its surface glimmered with a deep purple hue, the edges entwined with wisps of barely perceptible black mist that seemed to writhe, as if alive. Dominating the center was the eye of the evil god, taking up a substantial portion of the card. This eye was not shaped like a human's. Rather, it resembled a multifaceted crystal ensconced in countless tiny tendrils. The pupil manifested as a swirling vortex, within which distorted faces writhed in agony, seemingly eternally trapped. Most chillingly, regardless of the angle from which one observed the eye of the evil god, it felt as though it were fixated upon oneself, its gaze imbued with insatiable greed, madness, and a chilling indifference, as if it could penetrate the soul and unearth the deepest fears within. Wang Yu averted his gaze and silently invoked the item. The card in his hand gradually faded away. It seemed as if something emerged from within, vanishing in an instant, an overwhelming malevolence sending a shiver down Wang Yu's spine. Pray for a few more minutes of life, he smirked coldly. The moment Wang Yu utilized the item, countless individuals harboring animosity towards him began to feel an unsettling discomfort. In the depths of his heart, Shota Koizumi harbored an intense malice, akin to being struck by the most malevolent curse of the world, rendering him utterly voiceless. Dissolving into a pool of blood, his soul, subjected to excruciating torment, vanished into oblivion. In the profound abyss of the ocean, a colossal sea creature emitted a lamenting wail. A cry of anguish. Its massive form gradually disintegrated into blood, dissipating in the ocean's depths. Shortly thereafter, a system notification echoed in Wang Yu's mind. Ding! Congratulations, host. On completing the daily task, of cleaning, earning 66,000 points. Ding! Your points balance is 93,955. Having resolved this minor affair, Wang Yu turned and returned to his bedroom. After shedding his clothes, he climbed back into bed, embracing the soft warmth of the three women beside him. After a brief dalliance, he retrieved his phone to browse short videos. Were it not for the excessive exertion of the previous night, he would have roused them for morning exercises. However, being his beloved companions, he felt a twinge of tenderness. He was no cad. In the ensuing days, Wang Yu was blissfully absorbed in a realm of tenderness. With Long Lily managing affairs at the company, he had no cause for concern, and his presence was unnecessary at school, leaving him with ample leisure time. He Chao Yin and He Chao Xin had also arrived in the bustling metropolis from Macau. Following a medical examination, their father had fully recovered and was now in excellent health, with the minor ailments of old age having dissipated. With relieved hearts, He Chao Xin and He Chao Yin boarded a flight to the metropolis, hastening to Tianmu Palace. Their arrival caught Wang Yu off guard. Upon seeing the several women within his residence, both He Chao Yin and He Chao Xin wore expressions of discontent, with He Chao Xin's eyes reddening with indignation, prompting Wang Yu to console them for a while. Soon enough, their anger subsided. After all, their love for Wang Yu ran deep. They had no choice but to accept the presence of the other women by his side. Yet, their family backgrounds were disparate, apart from Zhao Xiyuan. The other women had each found their place in this arrangement. Shen Mingyao and Shun Qinyao also resigned from their positions at the airline, coming to the metropolis. From now on, they would be dedicated solely to Wang Yu as his flight attendants, accompanying him on his newly acquired private jet during their work hours. Wang Yu was pleasantly surprised by the change in Shun Qinyao. Though still reticent, she no longer rebuffed advances under Chen Mingyao's guidance. At their residence in Binjiang Triumph Arch, Wang Yu indulged in long-awaited pleasures, with one being a cool and composed flight attendant and the other exuding sensual allure. The contrast in their personalities provided him with unparalleled enjoyment, causing him to remain away from Tianmu Palace for several consecutive days. Clad in black silk uniforms, Shen Qinyao and Chen Mingyao once again fulfilled Wang Yu's aspirations as captain. In his elation, he did not forget to take them shopping, indulging them with luxurious bags and exquisite jewelry, sparing no expense. Naturally, he also remembered Zhang Ro. For her, Wang Yu harbored a distinct sentiment, for she was indeed his first love. During this period, Wang Yu once again visited the automobile dealership where Zhang Ro worked, causing quite a stir, as he had already achieved national fame. His mere presence in the store elicited tremendous excitement, drawing a crowd eager to exchange a few words with him, while some self-assured young women wished to connect with him through Fei Xin. Yet, Wang Yu's gaze was solely fixed on Zhang Ro. Zhang Ro, taken aback by Wang Yu's unexpected visit, felt a tinge of melancholy, having presumed that he might have forgotten her. After all, the videos of Wang Yu that circulated widely on the internet had captivated many, including the wealthy heiresses He Chaoxin and He Chaolian, who had even become his girlfriends. The envious female sales representatives at the company would often gather around her, speaking in veiled tones, leaving her unable to retort. At that moment, with Wang Yu standing before her once more, all the grievances Zhang Ro had harbored finally erupted. Wang Yu embraced her, offering sincere comfort. Following his advice, Zhang Ro resigned from her job and secured a storefront near her current residence in the Tangshan Yiping community, where she opened a franchise of Mishuai City, stepping into the role of a business owner. However, she felt a bit shy about sharing a bed and did not accompany Wang Yu back to the Tianmu Palace, which he naturally did not press her to do. Ren Ningxuang's mother underwent a successful surgery to remove a tumor from her brain and was recovering well. Upon hearing this news, Wang Yu personally visited the best hospital in the Magic City to pay his respects. Initially, Ren Ningxuang's parents held some reservations towards Wang Yu, as no parent would desire their daughter, whom they had raised for over 20 years, to become a mistress. Nevertheless, Wang Yu had arranged for the finest medical care and provided a substantial surgery fee of 800,000 yuan, making it difficult for them to express their displeasure. Yet, they increasingly felt guilty towards Ren Ningxuang, believing they were a burden on their daughter. Her father, in particular, was despondent. Wang Yu, however, remained unfazed, maintaining a standard smile. Having been involved with their daughter, he could only bear the consequences. Aware that Ren Ningxuang had limited financial resources, Wang Yu transferred an additional 1 million Huaxia yuan into her account before he left. Time flew by, and soon it was December 1st. The parent company of Ean, ByteDance, commenced its public financing with great fanfare. The event was grandly organized, inviting top-tier business magnates from across the nation, such as Ma Huadeng, Ma Yun, and Wang Jinlin. Investment institutions from both domestic and international arenas flocked to the event, all eager to partake in this lucrative opportunity. Wang Yu, however, chose not to attend the banquet. As time passed, what once appeared to him as a highly valuable business opportunity in ByteDance now seemed rather trivial. Nevertheless, Long Lily, during her report, made several requests and insisted that Wang Xikong, Qin Fun, as well as shareholders Yao Jinglong, Chen Su, and Li Xiang from the company, attend the banquet on behalf of Jingshun Capital. While Wang Yu had lost interest in ByteDance, it did not mean he would relinquish this opportunity without a fight. The purpose of sending Wang Xikong and his associates was to showcase the resources and connections behind their venture capital firm, Whale Capital. In this round of financing, ByteDance did not place significant importance on the money itself. Rather, it was the resources and connections that captured their attention. It is widely known that Whale Capital is owned by Wang Yu, and now, with Wang Xikong and Qin Fan stepping into the fray, it incites a sense of trepidation. One must understand that the Wang family, which supports Wang Yu, is an undeniable giant in the industry, coupled with the formidable families represented by these young elites. Their presence in Huagua is truly daunting. The owner of ByteDance is also quite astute, understanding precisely what he and his company desire. After Whale Capital proposed a reasonable price, a partnership was swiftly established, making Whale Capital one of ByteDance's most significant shareholders. The other prominent figures present at the scene were rather helpless, yet fully aware of Wang Yu's background, and dared not act rashly. Even Ma Yun, riding high in 2018, approached with a congenial demeanor, eager to dine with Wang Yu to foster connections. Thus, he invited Wang Xikong and his companions to Whale Capital. Wang Yu was taken aback by Ma Yun's personal visit, yet he did not refuse the opportunity for acquaintance. In truth, he held a degree of admiration for Ma Yun from his previous life. A talented individual who merely strayed onto a misguided path, becoming somewhat inflated with ambition after reaching lofty heights, ultimately facing the people's iron fist. It took years for him to recover. At this moment, however, he exuded an air of pride, commanding attention at the banquet with effortless grace. Wang Yu observed carefully. This individual was not merely riding on empty accolades. Despite his braggadocio and brotherly banter with the others, he was astute. The dinner progressed with mutual delight, and after several rounds of drinks and courses, as Ma Yun's spirits soared, he suddenly clapped Wang Yu on the shoulder with a hearty laugh. "Young Master Wang, your audacity at such a young age is truly remarkable. Should Whale Capital ever require assistance, you need not worry about hesitation from my side." With that, he raised a glass of fine liquor and drank it down in one go, laughing heartily thereafter, though the spiciness made him grimace. Wang Yu smiled serenely. Raising his glass in return, and as he observed the glimmer of shrewdness and enthusiasm in Ma Yun's eyes, he mused that this meal was indeed worthwhile. Chapter 477. Returned to Rome province in the evening, Wang Yu returned to Zhongliang Haijing No. 1, but did not return to the Timu Palace. Instead, he stealthily made his way to the 32nd floor. He pressed the doorbell, and soon the door swung open, revealing a slender, pale hand that pulled him inside. A pair of alluring red lips met Wang Yu's in a passionate kiss. Wang Yu reciprocated without hesitation, wrapping his arms around her neck. He reached out to close the door and embraced Yang Mi, who was adorned in a sparkling evening gown, a hint of amusement flickering in his eyes. After just a few days apart, she was so eager. The two continued to kiss as they made their way to the sofa, where Wang Yu released his tongue and smiled. "Did you miss me? How ungrateful. I've been busy with work, yet you didn't reach out to me. You had to wait for me to find you." Yang Mi gazed at him with a hint of reproach, lightly punching his shoulder. "Then I shall make it up to you soon." A mischievous smile played at the corners of Wang Yu's lips as he reached for the zipper on his back. Yang Mi, languidly draped over Wang Yu's neck, exhaled warm breath and said, "Just give me a moment. I need to change into something. What will you wear?" Wang Yu paused, curiosity piqued. Yang Mi stood, placing her finger gently on Wang Yu's lips, playfully smiling. "You'll find out soon enough. Wait for me. I'll be right back." Wang Yu watched her retreating figure, her fragrant perfume lingering in the air, tugging at his heartstrings. In the dimly lit living room, adorned only by a few scattered purple ambient lights, Wang Yu surveyed his surroundings. This was Yang Mi's frequent residence, thoughtfully decorated with a warm and inviting touch, revealing her meticulous attention to detail. Had it not been for Yang Mi's contact, he might have forgotten she possessed this charming abode. His gaze settled on a wine cabinet, fingers hovering over a bottle of Tai Sui wine. Can this be consumed? He pondered, a hint of doubt surfacing, yet he decided to take it down. Inside the exquisite bottle, a small piece of white flesh floated, appearing somewhat peculiar. Wang Yu opened it and sniffed, detecting no unusual scent. Nonetheless, a sense of skepticism lingered, prompting him to activate his true eye for further examination. Item: Tai Sui wine. Note: it has nourishing properties for the body, but it is not advisable to consume in large quantities at once. To his astonishment, the legendary Tai Sui indeed possessed effects on the human body. It seemed the affluent had a knack for indulgence, acquiring such exotic items. Pouring a little into a glass, he took a sip and remarked, "The taste is quite pleasant. It seems to have softened the harshness of the liquor." "Little brother, where are you?" "Sister is back, dressed in her new attire." Yang Mi entered the living room, but found Wang Yu absent. Turning around, her eyes instantly brightened. "You certainly have an eye for fine things." Discovering my treasured Tai Sui wine. With a playful laugh, she approached Wang Yu, her alluring black stockings brushing against his calves. Clad in a sheer garment that revealed a hint of her delicate bosom, she exuded irresistible allure. Wang Yu swept Yang Mi into his arms, placing her on the sofa, igniting an intense warmth in the air. Soft music began to play, enveloping the entwined figures in a gentle melody. Suddenly, a noise echoed from the entrance. Startled, Yang Mi heard a voice call from the door, "Sister Mi, I'm here. Why are the lights off? You're not asleep so early, are you?" Dili Bia, puzzled by the dark room, reached out to switch on the living room lights, only to be met with the sight of the two on the sofa. Her fair complexion flushed crimson, and she stood frozen in shock. Yang Mi shot her a glance, exhaling sharply. "Why did you just come in?" I, Dili Reba stammered, at a loss for words, her gaze flitting nervously, captivated by Wang Yu's physique, torn between wanting to look and feeling hesitant. "I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I am leaving now," Wang Yu called out to the departing Reba with a smile. "Why the haste? Your arrival is perfectly timed." Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully captivating the goddess Dili Reba, earning 888 points. As usual, Wang Yu elevated her beauty to a perfect score of 100. Reba, already ethereal in her beauty, became even more exquisite, resembling a celestial being gracing the earthly realm, untouched by the mundane. Wang Yu could not help but exclaim that the expenditure of points was worthwhile. Upon witnessing Reba's transformation, Yang Mi understood that the elixir Wang Yu had provided was extraordinary and sought to partake as well. Once again, Wang Yu produced several pills, enhancing Yang Mi's beauty to a flawless 100. Both Reba and Yang Mi were filled with immense joy regarding their transformations. Being stars, their appearance was of utmost importance, often valued above life itself. In a mere moment, their allure had remarkably intensified, leaving them in disbelief at their newfound beauty. Yang Mi's sole thought was that she was destined to rise to fame once more. With her current looks, she would surely captivate countless young hearts upon her return to television. The two women exchanged excited glances, each reflecting the other's exhilaration, and simultaneously exclaimed, "Darling, I adore you." They gazed at Wang Yu's chiseled abs, drooling in admiration. Before long, the school break arrived, and Wang Yu prepared to return to Sichuan, having arranged matters at his company. He took along Shun Qingya, Chen Mingyao, Long Lily, and Karina, while the other women returned to their hometowns. Shun Qingya, Chen Mingyao, and Long Lily, all hailing from Sichuan, naturally accompanied him. Karina, initially planning to return to the northeast, was informed by her parents of a trip to Russia. Thus, she decided to delay her return home and instead explore Sichuan, yearning to savor the local delicacies she had long anticipated. She also harbored a desire to meet Wang Yu's parents. The group boarded a private jet at Pudong Airport, soaring to an altitude of 10,000 meters. Shun Qingya and Chen Mingyao donned their distinctive flight attendant uniforms, their elegant figures accentuated by black stockings and high heels, captivating Wang Yu's interest amidst the unique setting. They provided him with an exclusive flight attendant service. Soon, the aircraft touched down at Shuangliu Airport in Sichuan. Wang Yu, impeccably dressed, exited the jet, accompanied by 4 stunning women. The moment they stepped out, they drew the attention of numerous onlookers, who quickly turned their gaze to the man at the center, eager to discern who possessed such fortune and prowess. Wang Yu's visage was unmistakably iconic, recognized in an instant. The crowd buzzed with excitement. The people of Sichuan felt an innate familiarity with Wang Yu, as they shared the same hometown, naturally drawing more attention to him. Prior to his return, Wang had already notified his family. A contingent of bodyguards coalesced around them amidst the bustling crowd, ensuring their safe passage outside. Chapter 478. The young master of the aristocracy dances, personally stepping outside the airport. They were greeted by the brilliant sun and pleasant weather. On a day when the persistent rain in Jin City finally gave way to sunshine, Xia Huilan awaited the return of Wang Yu in her bulletproof Rolls-Royce. Upon seeing Wang Yu emerge alongside several young women, her face radiated with joy. As the car door swung open, Wang Yu called out to his mother, "Mom." However, Xia Huilan appeared oblivious to him, enthusiastically greeting Long Lily and her companions, scrutinizing them with evident satisfaction. Under the gaze of thousands at the airport, Karina, Long Lily, Shun Qingya, and Chen Mingyao stood composed, yet blushed under Xia Huilan's scrutiny. Delighted, she held their small hands and chatted incessantly. Wang Yu, standing awkwardly by, felt somewhat neglected. After all, he had returned home after a long absence, only to be set aside. The girls, sensing that Xia Huilan harbored no ill feelings towards them and was instead concerned about whether Wang Yu had mistreated them, felt deeply touched and momentarily at a loss for words. Should they address her as auntie or simply mom? This posed quite a dilemma. Noticing their hesitation, Xia Huilan offered an encouraging glance. Eventually, Chen Mingyao tentatively called out mom, causing Xia Huilan to beam with delight, feeling an overwhelming fondness for these lovely young women. In just a few short hours, she had come to regard them as her own daughters. In the Qingyang district, at the Watermark Long Island Villa, Wang Zhengwo was busily attending meetings, both large and small, as the new year approached, still in the capital and unable to return home. Xia Huilan, on the other hand, had entrusted the company's affairs to her subordinates and returned home, primarily to celebrate her precious son's awakening to life, having brought girls home with him. She personally prepared lunch in the kitchen, and the young women eagerly offered their assistance. They showered her with flattering remarks, successfully winning her over. They exchanged playful glances at Wang Yu, mindful that Xia Huilan had promised not to allow him to bully them in the future, and felt quite triumphant. During the meal, Xia Huilan informed them that her father had requested the entire family to celebrate the new year in the capital, urging Wang Yu to prepare and keep his schedule clear, lest he become lost amidst the bustling festivities. Wang Yu nodded in agreement, eager to reunite with his grandparents, whom he hadn't seen in quite some time. In the afternoon, Wang Yu took the girls to see the adorable meatball Hoa. The girls' eyes sparkled with delight at the sight of the plump creature, evoking a desire to cuddle it. Wang Yu, noticing their enthusiasm, made a phone call. That day, Hoa was allowed to leave work early, citing the sweltering heat and a loss of appetite as the reasons for needing rest. In truth, Karina, Long Lily, and the other girls had the chance for close interaction with Hoa, who was docile and happily munched on fresh bamboo shoots in their arms, allowing them to embrace and photograph her with utmost compliance. As night fell, they ventured to must-visit locales in Jin City: Taikoo Li, Chunchi Road, Quanzhai Alley, and Jinli. Wang Yu had always envied those who drove sports cars in the city center during his past life. The affluent heir, accompanied by his female companions, arrogantly sped down the road. Now he found himself in a position to bask in the envy of others. His immense popularity rendered Wang Yu the focal point of attention wherever he went. Fashion enthusiasts and live streamers at Taikoo Li intentionally or inadvertently gravitated towards Wang Yu, which became quite bothersome. Consequently, he opted to ascend the escalator and enter the shopping mall, accompanied by several young ladies. He indulged them in their shopping spree, fulfilling their desires for luxurious clothing, shoes, bags, and accessories. They were not overly extravagant, merely selecting a few items that caught their fancy, accumulating a total expenditure of 3,586,196. Ding! The system has detected that the host spent 3,586,196, resulting in a double cashback of 7,172,392. Upon exiting the mall, he spotted, from a distance, a dazzling gleam of glistening eggs. A smile graced his lips as he made his way toward it. The street was bustling with a crowd, which instinctively parted to create a path for Wang Yu. As he approached, he focused his gaze on a tall, slender, bald man accompanied by several others, performing the Kuan Kuan dance while rhythmically bouncing a basketball. They danced passionately to the music. This ensemble regularly showcased their performances in the city center, despite their humorous demeanor. They had been invited to perform at local galas, sports events, and variety shows. They were also champions of the World Freestyle Basketball Competition, demonstrating exceptional talent. However, in 2018, they had not yet reached the level of fame seen in later years. As the crowd stirred, they rushed toward Wang Yu to take photographs. Upon completing their dance, the group glanced over, their expressions lighting up at the sight of him, unperturbed by his status. As the music played on, the leader approached Wang Yu, dancing a personalized rendition of G-Dragon's choreography while incorporating the basketball. Wang Yu smiled at the viewers in the live stream, took out his phone, and followed the account of the three-man group, entering the live stream to generously send 1 million in gifts, as the atmosphere warranted such a gesture. The performers were quite dedicated, which piqued Wang Yu's interest. After a brief selection in the mall, he discovered a term related to dance. Dance proficiency, effect, mastery-level dance skills that will allow you to shine on stage. He clicked to purchase, consuming 500 points. After the leader finished his rendition of G-Dragon's dance, he approached Wang Yu to express his gratitude. Thank you, young Master Wang, for your generous gifts. According to our live stream rules, a luxury car allows for 1 dance performance. With your numerous gifts, you have single-handedly secured our dances for the entire month. We will come to your residence tomorrow to perform for you. What dance would you like to see? The three-man group is at your service. While the sentiment was charming, the underlying intent was likely to leverage Wang Yu's fame for greater influence and an expanded fan base. Wang Yu responded nonchalantly, just for tonight. As long as I enjoy it, that's sufficient. He then turned to Karina and the others, inquiring, can you dance? Chun Mingyao and Karina quickly expressed their ability to dance, while Long Lily and Shun Qingya felt somewhat awkward, as not all beautiful women possessed dancing skills. Their competence in this art form was virtually non-existent. Wang Yu did not press them further, turning to the bald-headed individual and suggesting, let us dance together, just for fun. The team leader's bald head seemed to gleam even brighter as he eagerly agreed, fearful of rejection from Wang Yu. After briefly explaining the essential movements, he willingly assumed the role of a supportive dancer, allowing Wang Yu, Karina, and Chun Mingyao to take center stage. As the music began, Wang Yu seized a basketball, showcasing his prowess with the agility of a star player, synchronizing with their movements. Karina and Chun Mingyao, unfamiliar with basketball, gradually found their rhythm by interpreting the music and observing the others. Their dance was graceful and alluring, captivating the audience. The atmosphere transformed into a vibrant spectacle, with whistles and cheers resonating throughout Taikoo Li. Both men and women were exhilarated, marveling at the chance to witness a grand scion dancing in person. Some astute individuals even took out their phones, live-streaming the event, and by the end of the night, those fortunate enough to attract attention received substantial tips. In the days that followed, Wang Yu returned home with Long Lily, Chun Mingyao, and Shun Qingya to visit their families. Although there were minor hiccups, they were ultimately inconsequential. A few dissenting opinions within the family crumbled under Wang Yu's financial influence. After meeting the parents and alleviating the concerns of the young women, Wang Yu took them on an excursion. While Rome province could not rival the economic prowess of the Magic City, it offered unparalleled experiences in tourism and gastronomy. The grandeur of the Leshan Giant Buddha, the majesty of Mount Amei, the enchanting Wawa Mountain, the breathtaking Juziga Valley, the serene Four Girls Mountain, the splendid Huanglong, the vast grasslands of Roergai, the Dago Glacier, the captivating Daoqing Yading, the mesmerizing Konk Valley, and the majestic Gonga Snow Mountain, among others, painted a picture of wild adventure. Life is often described as a wild journey, yet even for budget travelers, time is a luxury not everyone possesses. Along the way, Wang Yu encountered numerous university students and retirees, the former having ample time and the latter enjoying both time and pensions. During this period, Wang Yu and Karina also explored Russia, immersing themselves in its unique culture. Amidst the primordial forests, Wang Yu drove a modified vehicle equipped with a machine gun, accompanied by a security team, as they hunted bears still in hibernation. On snow-covered plains, they chased reindeer the size of automobiles, reveling in the thrill of hunting and culinary preparation. Wang Yu and the young women continued their adventures until the approach of the new year, at which point other girlfriends, unable to bear the pangs of longing, sought his company, reluctant to part from his side. The system's tasks were infrequent, yet they were simple and devoid of challenge, yielding a modest accumulation of points totaling 18,000. Upon returning to the imperial capital, in a modest courtyard, Wang Yu was reunited with his long-missed grandparents. He presented them with a cherished gift, the Lantingyi Su. The old gentleman was delighted, relishing the opportunity to boast about his grandson's accomplishments to his old friends. Wang Yu subsequently offered several elixirs to his grandparents, ensuring their health and longevity with a special longevity pill included among them. The expenditure amounted to 2,800 points, leading Wang Zhaojun to speculate that these potions were procured from a small island. However, he refrained from directly inquiring about Wang Yu's current strength. Every individual harbors secrets, and as Wang Yu was his grandson, as long as he hadn't absorbed any impure energy, there were no concerns. A robust power was indeed a tremendous boon, promising an even brighter future for the Wang family. Wang Yu stayed in the imperial capital, encountering Wang Zhangwo and his influential second uncle. His twin sisters, now in high school, were thrilled by his visit, eagerly capturing numerous videos with him, which they discreetly shared online. On New Year's Eve, Wang Yu ascended the stage of the CCTV Spring Festival Gala. Addressing the nation and all Chinese compatriots, he sang several songs, garnering immense popularity. The completion of the main quest surged to an astonishing 186 billion out of 50 billion, bringing him a step closer to achieving his goal. After Wang Yu's performance, the host, Xiao Sa, expressed gratitude to him before the audience, acknowledging his donation of the Yongle Encyclopedia and his contributions to charitable endeavors. Xiao Sa's gaze towards Wang Yu was filled with admiration as he announced an important matter. Wang's newly established Wuyo Charity Foundation would commence its operations nationwide after the new year, aiding all in need. As per my knowledge, the foundation's funding was boundless, entirely supported by Wang himself. The nation erupted in astonishment. Many found it hard to believe, dismissing it as mere theatrics. Yet, Wang Yu offered no further explanations, confident that time would attest to the truth. With CCTV's endorsement, the foundation's development would undoubtedly accelerate. Upon returning home, Wang Yu's phone incessantly buzzed with congratulatory messages. After the new year, he attended school in the Magic City for a few days before heading to the office. The headquarters of Whale Capital was already under construction, situated over 10 kilometers off the Bund, where various large vessels were engaged in land reclamation. The Charity Foundation also began its initiatives. Under Zheng Jigang's tireless efforts, the company was operational, with him personally visiting the most impoverished regions to understand the roots of poverty and assist those in need. The expenditure was astronomical, yet Wang Yu remained unconcerned, assuring Zheng Jigang that funding was not a worry. Public perception of Wang Yu gradually transformed. He was no longer viewed merely as a wealthy second-generation heir, akin to the likes of Wang Xikong, known only for indulgence and revelry. The so-called Charity Foundation was not merely a FA for fame, but a genuine endeavor. This was a profound misconception. Wang Yu's reputation has reached its zenith. Any disparaging remarks about him online are met with vehement backlash from countless netizens. In remote areas, elderly individuals with limited education, who have directly benefited from his kindness, find themselves at a loss on how to repay him. They quietly honor his spirit tablet at home, beseeching the heavens to ensure Wang Yu's life is smooth and that good deeds are rewarded. That is all they are capable of doing. Hua country is an expansive nation, and the demand for manpower in charitable foundations is immense. The Yi Association, initially founded with other purposes in mind, has shifted focus due to the rapid rise in personal capabilities, rendering those original intentions less significant. Some members return to the homeland to join charitable foundations, while others ventured abroad to serve the interests of Whale Capital, paving the way for its endeavors. Wherever Whale Capital sets foot in a foreign land, the Yin Association becomes a crucial force, ensuring the safety of its personnel. Time flies, and the moment for the Taoist Luotian Grand Ritual has arrived, to which Wang Yu has been invited. He entrusted the artifacts left by Qin Shuzi to Master Zhang of Longhu Mountain. The turbid energy is toxic, Zhang pondered privately, yet felt powerless. The disappearance of spiritual energy forced them to absorb the turbid essence. Unless one day they discover a viable alternative to this turbid energy, avoidance remains impossible. The Luotian Grand Ritual is conducted with great pomp, featuring various rites that Wang Yu struggles to comprehend, though they seemingly aim to bless the nation and its people. May the heavens be serene, and our Tao flourish. Attending the ritual are leaders from various sects and the promising younger generation cultivated by these sections. The youthful fervor of these individuals inevitably leads to a competitive spirit. Qingqing Mountain has even prepared a platform specifically for martial contests. In addition to these practitioners, several prominent leaders frequently seen on evening news also grace the occasion. The Heavenly Palace organization dispatched skilled individuals to accompany them. Wang Yu, as an outsider and merely a wealthy heir, found himself amidst this spectacle. The martial contests were exhilarating, captivating Wang Yu's attention as he applauded enthusiastically. Ultimately, the victor was Ma Liangji, the current successor of the Encountering Immortals sect. At just 23 years old, he had already attained the first level of the turbid energy realm, exuding an air of arrogance, particularly in light of Wang Yu's popularity among female disciples. Upon learning of Wang Yu's commendable abilities, Ma Liangji provocatively challenged him. Although Wang Yu felt helpless, after all, his charm was not something he could control, he reluctantly accepted the challenge. With a mere flicker of thought, he unleashed a thread of mental energy towards the poised Ma Liangji, rendering him immobile. His face flushed crimson as he was forced to concede, retreating in disgrace, unable to meet the teasing gazes of the female disciples. Chapter 480. The Cave Crisis. Wang Yu's display of mental prowess piqued Master Zhang's interest, prompting him to inquire privately. Why is it that one can wield divine consciousness while still merely training the physical body, even before absorbing any turbid energy? It is understood that only those who have absorbed spiritual energy and attained the innate realm can possess such capabilities. Wang Yu could not articulate this query, only able to claim that he had inadvertently acquired this ability, the origin of which remained a mystery to him. He then deftly shifted the conversation, inquiring about the dragon egg nestled in his chest and when it might hatch. Master Zhang stroked his beard, grasped Wang Yu's wrist, and remarked with a smile, "This little fellow has been slumbering in its shell for far too long and is reluctant to emerge." Huh? Wang Yu was taken aback. Was this truly the case? Sleeping for an extended period and unwilling to come forth? Master Zhang nodded sagely, then flicked his finger, sending a thread of turbid energy coursing through Wang Yu's meridians until it reached his heart, burrowing into the dragon egg. The egg began to tremble, and Wang Yu faintly heard a muffled, infantile roar of anger, as if the creature within was protesting the disturbance of its slumber. Moments later, the eggshell shattered, revealing a small white dragon head, shimmering with a faint halo, which emerged from Wang Yu's chest and angrily lunged at Master Zhang. The master, with an inscrutable smile, retracted his hand and playfully flicked the dragon's head. The little white dragon let out a yelp and, frightened, retreated back into Wang Yu's body, refusing to come out no matter the persuasion. Wang Yu smiled as he patted his chest, amused by its mischievousness. "I'll name you Xue Tuan," he declared. Xue Tuan displayed impressive potential, having just hatched with an innate strength equivalent to the first level of turbid energy realm. Its bloodline was notably high, evoking envy in Master Zhang. Yet, he could also sense a subtle aura of danger emanating from Wang Yu, leaving him to gaze longingly at Xue Tuan. Considering Wang Yu's extraordinary hidden prowess, Zhang realigned the conversation to share a secret. Half a month prior, at the mid-slope of the world's highest peak, the Himalayas, a gaping chasm had inexplicably appeared, measuring over 100 meters in diameter. From within, a cacophony of harsh, grating sounds could be heard, reminiscent of demons descending upon the earth. 3 days later, a creature emerged from the depths, jet black in hue. It induced confusion and rendered anyone who came into contact with it a mindless killing machine. Even warriors at the turbid energy realm would suffer effects after prolonged exposure. In response, the authorities swiftly dispatched military forces, and the Heavenly Palace organized a contingent of powerful individuals to oversee the situation. Initially, only a few weak monsters emerged from the cave, easily dispatched by first-level turbid energy warriors. However, in recent days, the number of creatures had surged, their strength now comparable to that of second-level turbid energy beings. The military began to feel the strain, though it remained within manageable limits. After the conclusion of the Grand Daoist ceremony, the leaders of various sects were to venture there alongside the strong from the Heavenly Palace to ascertain the true nature of the situation and eliminate any potential threats. Wang Yu felt a tinge of excitement and readily agreed. Following their descent from Qingxing Mountain, over a dozen dignitaries boarded a connecting flight from Dujianjian City. Heading straight for Lhasa, they soon arrived at the foot of the Himalayas. The area has been cordoned off by the military. Without a pass, entry is prohibited. However, Wang Yu and his companions traversed unhindered into the depths. They arrived at the so-called cave nestled halfway up the mountain, perpetually shrouded in snow. A pitch-black cavern materialized conspicuously before them. After some deliberation, they decided to venture inside. Wang Yu discreetly activated his mental powers, following suit with his companions, gradually grasping the rocky walls as they delved deeper. Descending several hundred meters, the abyss seemed endless, as if the cave led to the very core of the earth. Wang Yu's expression turned grave. His ability to probe with mental energy appeared hindered, as anything beyond 100 meters became indistinct. A hissing sound erupted from below, and a 3-meter-tall black creature entered Wang Yu's sensory range. It resembled a humanoid, albeit with 3 tongues, remarkably peculiar. Without needing Wang Yu's warning, the powerful figures ahead swiftly obliterated it into fragments. The group continued their exploration deeper into the cave. The further they ventured, the more creatures they encountered, each more formidable than the last. The monsters were grotesque, some not even humanoid. Wang Yu even spotted classic depictions of aliens from films. They encountered beings reminiscent of mythological creatures, such as the bull-headed horse-faced guardians and the King of Hell, though they were merely similar in appearance. After descending over 3,000 meters, an air of trepidation enveloped the group, leading to a consensus to retreat. In the days that followed, as if influenced by their intrusion, an increasing number of monsters emerged from the cave. Initially, the crowd paid little heed, for with a military present, the number of creatures seemed trivial. Occasionally, those at the 3rd and 4th levels of the turbid energy realm were swiftly dealt with via missile strikes. Yet, even the most optimistic individuals began to recognize the gravity of the situation. The monsters were seemingly endless. Eventually, a creature equivalent to the 5th level of the turbid energy realm appeared, towering over 10 meters, resembling a treeman from legends. Its body exuding dark mist, and its enormous pupils gleaming with a bloodthirsty light as it crawled out of the cave. The military launched over 100 missiles, and with the assistance of 5 4th-level turbid energy realm experts, they finally eradicated the beast. Subsequently, a temporary meeting was convened at the foot of the Himalayas, to which Wang Yu was invited. No effective solutions emerged, and a tense atmosphere pervaded the room. Military officials prepared to deploy nuclear weapons in the face of dire circumstances. The monsters must be exterminated here. None could be allowed to escape, as they posed a grave threat to countless civilians. With no viable options, discussions turned to reporting to the central government. Chun the Lame and his disciple, Wen Ringxiangrui, arrived uninvited, offering divination, results foreboding. Panic ensued among those present. Yet, Chun remained unflustered, casting a glance at Wang Yu and proclaiming, "Do not panic. There remains a sliver of hope." After pondering for a moment, Wang Yu resolved to temporarily seal the cave. He spent 188,000 points in the marketplace to purchase a sealing talisman, which he cast into the depths of the cavern. In an instant, a blinding azure light radiated from the depths of the pitch-black cave. A resounding roar erupted from the depths of the earth, deafening in its intensity. An unknown creature relentlessly assailed its confinement, and Wang Yu estimated that the seal could withstand this onslaught for 3 years. Upon receiving this news, the high-ranking officials present breathed a collective sigh of relief. 3 years was ample time for them to devise a more effective strategy. The military remained stationed here, mobilizing the nation's finest scientists to this lofty location, several thousand meters above sea level, to form a research team. Their objective was to study the creature's remains in an effort to uncover the nature of this enigmatic being. Upon returning to the Magic City, Wang Yu urged the development of the company once more. However, an unsettling feeling gnawed at him. He sought to avert any unforeseen complications in 3 years' time. It was imperative to complete the main storyline task issued by the system. Only then could he accumulate sufficient points to acquire greater strength. Everything progressed smoothly, advancing steadily. A year later, with Wang Yu's boundless financial backing, Whale Capital secured 70% of the world's entertainment media shares. Under his directive, these companies commenced an overwhelming campaign to promote Wang Yu, with his posters adorning streets and alleys abroad. He was sculpted into a renowned figure, thanks to his handsome visage, which captivated countless admirers. They came to know of a strikingly attractive second-generation rich heir in the distant East, possessing wealth surpassing even that of the world's richest individuals. The main storyline task became widely recognized, signaling its completion. Widely recognized. Main task: the life of a wealthy individual is never mundane. Accolades and admiration are mere embellishments. And the company of beautiful people is standard. The reverence of the world is a pursuit worth mentioning. Please strive to elevate your prominence, ensuring that your existence is known globally. Task completion. 3 billion out of 5 billion. Ding. Congratulations, host, on completing the main task of becoming widely recognized and earning system points. 5 million. Chapter 481. The Ean Spirit Essence. Following the completion of his task, the company began to extend its reach into various industries. 2.5 years later, leveraging the gene optimization serum purchased by Wang Yu from the system's marketplace and supported by resources from the pharmaceutical companies in which he invested, as well as his mother Xiaohualan's Huayao Group, the laboratory, under the tireless research of top academicians, achieved mass production. Humanity was entirely cured of all ailments, and life expectancy experienced a significant increase. Armed with this pivotal advantage, Whale Capital embarked on a frenzied expansion across various sectors, swiftly establishing itself as a colossal titan in the business realm. The magnitude of its investments could only be described as staggering, with a market value surpassing hundreds of trillions. This rapid ascent raised concerns among nations, and growth stagnated to avert the onset of conflict. Wang Yu was compelled to submit his task. Business Titan. Main task: how could the life of a wealthy individual be so monotonous? Please dominate the business world, ensuring that those shadowy conglomerates regard you with reverence. Extend your company's reach across all sectors, achieving a market value exceeding 10 trillion. Ding. Congratulations, host, on surpassing the task and earning 8 million points. In the half-month leading up to the seal's imminent dissolution, the powerful figures of China and much of the world have gathered in the majestic Himalayas. The situation here has already alerted other nations, capturing the attention of the United Nations. Wang Yu merely swept his mind across the area and shook his head. There were only about 7 or 8 individuals at the 5th level of the Turbichi realm. Is this truly the extent of the world's might? Surely, some must have refrained from attending. Wang Yu meticulously considered the submission of the goddess Harvester and the task of aiding those with noble aspirations. Ding. The task embraced the world. Main quest: once wealth reaches a certain threshold, it becomes merely a cold number of little U's beyond that. The life of a true tycoon should not be confined to this. Please endeavor to assist those in need, judging by actions rather than intentions. No one is perfect in this world. As long as the protagonist acts, those who require help shall receive it. Note: the more money the protagonist expends on this task, the more individuals they assist, resulting in greater rewards. Upon reaching 10 billion Huaxiao coins, the task can be submitted at any time. Ding. The system detected the protagonist expending 100 trillion Huaxiao coins, cumulatively assisting 185, 662, 137 individuals, and earned 18 million points. Ding. Goddess Harvester. Main quest: as the owner of the system, a top-tier tycoon naturally requires the presence of goddesses. Please endeavor to win over more goddesses with an attractiveness score of 90 or above. Each time a goddess is successfully courted, points will be awarded based on circumstances. Ding. Congratulations to the protagonist for successfully courting 4 goddesses, earning 4 million system points. Over the past 3 years, the system has gradually issued daily tasks, allowing Wang Yu to accumulate a total of 320,000 points. However, he chose not to pursue the task of courting goddesses further. The companionship of Shun Qingya and others was sufficient for him. He was not an emperor in need of a harem of 3,000 beauties. Opening the system panel, he noted that his points had reached 35, 324, 343. Suddenly, the system's voice resounded once more. Ding. Congratulations to the protagonist for completing all main quests. Please resolve the current crisis, and the system will upgrade once again. To facilitate the upgrade, the cave situation must be addressed. It was indeed time. Without hesitation, Wang Yu located prayer beads in the system marketplace. These beads would allow his mental power to undergo a significant transformation. He promptly purchased 100, costing 1 million points. It felt akin to discovering a great treasure. Wang Yu's mental power surged with excitement as he eagerly absorbed the 100 prayer beads before him. As the beads were consumed, he sensed a long-dormant transformation within his mental power, lifting him into the air and soaring to extraordinary heights. At the pinnacle of Mount Everest, Wang Yu gazed down at the minuscule